This right here look beautiful, but scary at the same time, if that makes sense. But I do need y'all to explain to me how 3 water spouts popped up at the same time around Mazaron, Spain. And it's crazy because a lot of people think this is AI. But I'm here to tell y'all, it's not AI. This is real. And I know people in the comments are gonna say, bruh, it's just weather.
I bet you thought I was drinking tea, but, this glass is empty. You see that? There was no tea in there. And this isn't my hand. These are my hands. That's not real at all. You see, you're being lied to. You're being lied to. I bet you thought this was me, but no, this is just a reflection. This was all taking place on a mirror. It was all a mirror. It was all a lie.
Crazy, because the bioengineer. This has got bioengineer. This, the turnout almost every week. Hungry Jack bioengineer.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, that's gonna make us question everything. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Say a word for y'all. Let's seek the truth.
Crazy history that you didn't learn in school. There was a man in England who discovered a buried Roman treasure worth over $6 million while using a metal detector to search for a lost hammer. Japan banned Christianity in the 16th to 17th centuries after welcoming missionaries from Portugal. They viewed Christianity as a threat to political control and social unity. A woman named Diana Armstrong is the world record holder for the longest fingernails at 42 feet, only because she decided to never trim her nails again after her daughter's passing because they used to enjoy manicures together. Thomas Jefferson briefly kept 2 grizzly bears at the White House after receiving them as a gift, but they were later declared too dangerous and then they were sent to a museum. The first commercially available microwave was over 6 feet tall, weighed 750 pounds, and would have cost more than $73,000 in 2025.
Why are most of the world's billionaires going to a small island near Epstein's Island?
This is the island of St. Bartholomew, and all of those purple little triangles are billionaires and their associated super yachts. This photo was taken today because all of these billionaires and their super yachts have decided to converge on St. Bartholomew Island for New Year's. You see, every year, around New Year's Eve, the world's elite class, the billionaires and their pet celebrities and pet politicians, gather here, specifically at the Eden Rock Hotel, for a super yacht festival. For reference, this is where the Eden Rock Hotel is, if you're in the area. Also feels important to point out that this is where St. Bartholomew is, and this is Jeffrey's Island. And this year's guest list is stacked. We've got that evil bald man, Jeff Bezos, Miriam Adelson, that Israeli lady, or American lady, I don't know. Her allegiance kind of depends on the day. And then a bunch of other folk. Also, notably, Dr. Phil is there. I saw he was on the list this year as well. This figure just drives me a little bit insane, so I have to tell you, but over the next few days, over 80% of all of the wealth on Earth will congregate on St. Bartholomew.
Think about it. They're all going to be on an island. Like she said, 80% of the world's wealth. Most of the world's billionaires will be on this one island. And we all know what happens with rich people in islands. Stay weird.
Dang.
Yo, somebody's been lying, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. Yo, I love finding these old maps. And every time I find these old maps, I'm constantly finding these sea creatures, right? And my question when I find these sea creatures is, why would people spend so much time drawing these sea creatures out if there's no truth to them whatsoever? Watch this. Oh yeah, let me know if y'all want me to post some more of these old ancient maps. I got a bunch of them. Let's go.
You know why you should never swim in the ocean? There's this guy on TikTok called Ryan who makes fishing videos. One night, he's on his boat with his crew and they're deep in the ocean. You know, way out to sea, there's really nothing around them. Ryan is in bed in his cabin when he hears a strange noise outside. So he gets out of bed and goes to the deck of the boat to see what it is. And there he hears someone shouting in the distance in the pitch black. To be honest, it's scary as hell. Wait, I'll show you the video, but that's not the worst of it. At one point, the noise stops, and they stop hearing noise, so they get back in the boat. Except that 2 hours later, he hears an even scarier noise right next to him, and then he sees that something is following them in the water, right next to the boat. They never knew what it was, but either it's an animal we haven't discovered yet, because dolphins and whales don't scream like that. And the second theory is that it could be a mermaid. Well, you never know, man. But the ocean is really the scariest thing in the world.
Could be a siren.
Fuck.
They know for their shrieks in the ocean. Interesting.
Oh, wow. So you're telling me that the water in my body is not H2O, but instead H3O2, and the fact that they told us that water is just water, but when it enters the body, it actually becomes structured H3O2 living water? Oh, wow. Every cell in your body holds water with a charge, and this charged water forms near cells to complete structure. When you drink unstructured water, your cells look like this, which is chlorine versus H3O2, hydrogen, oxygen. See, structured water creates a barrier that your body needs. That's because you are made up of living water and light, not just blood and bone. This is why I teach you how to return to the conditions your body was designed for. Light, flow, and divine charge. Structure your inner water, you structure your life. And I teach how to make structured water at home. Link in bio. Let's recharge and vibrate higher.
So check that out, bro. Structured water. I mean, I'm about to say, we know like our body is made up of water, man. But structured water, I'm guessing, well, that makes sense. It couldn't just be, regular water going on in our bodies, man. I'll have to check that out, bro. It's gonna be an interesting rabbit hole.
Tea. I bet you thought I was drinking tea, but this glass is empty. You see that? There was no tea in there. And this isn't my hand. These are my hands. That's not real at all. You see, you're being lied to. You're being lied to. I bet you thought this was me, but no, this is just a reflection. This was all taking place on a mirror. It was all a mirror. It was all a lie. And I bet you thought I was wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants. And this isn't even my voice. I dubbed this over in post-production. You're being lied to. This is all taking place on a screen, and you are being lied to. You're being lied.
This right here look beautiful, but scary at the same time, if that makes sense. But I do need y'all to explain to me how 3 water spouts popped up at the same time around Mazaron, Spain. As y'all can see, it happened on December 28th. And it's crazy because a lot of people think this is AI. But I'm here to tell y'all, it's not AI. This is real. And I know people in the comments are going to say, bruh, it's just weather. I'm not saying it's not just weather. I'm just letting you know that those 3 water spouts were strong enough to cause damage to yachts and to restaurants. So to me, fool, it's not just rain or weather. It's like the sky was doing cardio. And here's the crazy part about those 3 water spouts. Usually they stay off the coast in the water, right? But these 3 were strong enough that they started pushing towards the land. The cold air met the Mediterranean warm weather, and they got jiggy and said, let's get violent. I know some people might think it's rare for the water spouts in Spain. That's not really rare. What's rare is 3 of them forming at the same damn time, which begs the question on why are we seeing stronger weather events, crazy weather events
Talk about it.
more frequently? And do anybody know what water spouts become if they do hit the land? If you say tornadoes, yes. So the fact that they push towards the land, and if they made landfall, that would be classified as water spouts to tornado. And if that happened, that's weird. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
If you have...
We had a whole lot of strange weather events, man, in 2025, bro. Hopefully going into 2026, man, we can see the weather return to a sense of normalcy, bro. I think we got people, man, using weather machines out here.
Please chuck them away right now. Yeah, people are freaking out after finding out that airports have been exploding in people's ears. So it started with this video that came out showing this girl who was hospitalized and nearly went deaf after an airport exploding in her ear. Since this, a lot of people have been coming out, and this has been going crazy viral all over social media with people throwing their AirPods away now. Obviously, this is coming at a time where everybody's just got new AirPods for Christmas, and now they're seeing all these videos and they're chucking them all straight in the bin. Now, I don't know whether this is reassuring or worse, but this actually isn't new. This has been happening for a long time. You can see it 2022. And even all the way back in 2018, a guy had the AirPods blow up in his ear. Great. And there has been a lot of reports of this. Yes, quite a few recently, but a lot for the past 5-10 years as well. At the end of the day, you're basically putting a little battery in your ear, and obviously these are going to malfunction at times. Should they blow up? Definitely not, but you can kind of see how they are. But yeah, this is definitely true. We're not 100% sure why this is happening. Apple still have never actually come out and addressed this.
We just witnessed one of the largest heists in German history, and now it is causing absolute chaos amongst the bank's customers demanding answers. You see, on Monday morning, police were called to a bank for a possible fire, but instead they found a massive hole drilled into the basement wall leading into the bank's vault, and they found the place absolutely ransacked. A staggering 3,000 safe deposit boxes were forced open, containing jewelry, cash, and gold, making up 95% of the bank's inventory. Investigators say they believe the thieves used an adjacent parking garage to gain access, and that this operation required extensive planning, inside knowledge, and a significant criminal resolve to carry out.
It is really unique compared to anything I've ever seen, heard, or read. I have never heard of any similar case, except perhaps on TV.
The thieves were described by police as highly professional, and so much so that days later, not a single suspect has been apprehended. Investigators say that this theft was worth between 10 and 90 million euros, which could make it one of Germany's largest ever.
What's up with these heists, bro? We had one in 2025 and one in 2026, bro. People think we playing GTA 5 online, man, with these damn heists, bro. That's crazy, man. Having your longest ticking like that, bro. I'm gonna need my bread back. Someone gonna have to compensate me.
AMD are over doubling the prices of their GPUs. So Nvidia is reportedly going to raise the price of the 5090 from $2,000 to $5,000. And AMD is going to be doing a similar price range. The exact amount hasn't been revealed yet. All we know is that it's going to be similar to the Nvidia jump, but just not quite as much. Now the reason for this jump is of course AI, and it's not known if any of their other GPUs are going to receive a similar price jump.
You see how when Speed was streaming in other countries, they was calling him out of his name? They was being racist. He's not going through any of that in Africa. In Africa, it looked like Speed is living his best life. You can feel every bit of the love in his streams. This young man met the president of Angola. He's taking time with these people. He's racing people. He raced the African flag.
That's Speed, bro.
You
Money
see
on
how
Speed.
the African people were showing Speed love? Why wasn't Speed getting that love anywhere else? And not saying that he wasn't getting love fully, but he's not getting no hate in Africa. Why is that?
You just
Y'all remember
athletic as hell.
streams? People put those streams up. When Speed was in Europe, nasty work. Speed is in Africa, and people are treating him like a human being. That says a lot. And you would think the way these people paint pictures about Africa, about people in Africa, that they wouldn't be treating Speed how they're treating Speed. But as we can see, Speed is being treated like a natural human being. And he is around very civilized people in Africa. Get that. Watch the stream.
Color.
Y'all tune into Speed does the Africa tour, bro. I feel like, man, when Speed goes to these countries, bro, they know it's just like, it's good for them, I guess, to see the good side instead of all the things they're hearing. So, but man, Speed in Africa, bro. I tuned into a couple of the streams. They're freaking cool, bro. Speed's doing a big, man, going into 2026.
Blue was never written down.
Weird.
Like in the Bible and like all this, like blue was never a word.
Weird.
And they would always just.
They didn't have a word for that color?
No. And so, but like when they would describe like the ocean and stuff like that, they would describe it as like green. What? And yeah. And so the theory is if you can't connect a word with a color, can you not see that color? Because your brain, and so they did an experiment in this tribe, and they also have never heard the word blue. And so they gave this graph, and it's this graph of like 12 squares, and they're all green, right? And then there's one that's like a bluish green, and they had these people look at it, and they were staring at it, and it took them so long to figure out which color, because they don't know what to look for in the blue. It was weird. And then they showed another one, and it was all green, and then there was one square that was just like a shade lighter of a green, but it was hard for us to see, and they could spot it instantly.
Wow.
Because they have like over 30 words for green.
Oh my gosh.
Your brain is tricky.
This man impersonated his mother for 3 years, hid her body in his house, and all to collect her pension. 82-year-old Graziella lived in northern Italy, and on November 16th, she went to renew her ID in person. When she arrived to the office, the worker that helped her noticed that Graziella had a lot of hair on her neck, a deep voice, and what looked to be a beard visibly showing through the heavy makeup she was wearing. They thought, this woman doesn't look like her old photo, so immediately the worker called the police, and they reviewed the surveillance cameras and noticed that Graziella arrived at the office in a car. Yet, she never had a driver's license. Police then confront who they thought was Graziella, and were shocked when they discovered that this person was actually Graziella's 56-year-old son, who was also a former nurse and currently unemployed. It turns out this man has been impersonating his mother since her passing in 2022, and all to collect her pension, which was a total of $93,000. Now, this isn't the craziest part, because when Graziella passed away, her son hid her body in his home, wrapped in a bedsheet and a sleeping bag. It's still not confirmed how exactly Graziella passed away, but it's believed that it was natural causes. But I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, and her son had more to do with her death. Now, one of the most common questions people have is, how did this man go 3 years convincing everyone that his mother was still alive, and how did no one ever notice or even check up on her?
Yeah, I've been going crazy because the bioengineered food shit. This has got bioengineered. This, the turnout I get almost every week. Hungry Jack bioengineered. This shit is like you make food and chicken. Bioengineered motherfucking grits, bitch. It says bioengineered food. Not me grits. This whole thing is 3D. Of course, anything Campbell's.
Yep.
Bitch, the El Paso enchilada sauce is bioengineered. Bitch, Ritz crackers. I ate this whole box this week. I got one little sleeve left. And I'm gonna eat the fuck out of them. Motherfucking noodles is too, which I think we all knew these wasn't good for you because how cheap they are, but still. No wonder they don't taste the same. Pizza rolls. Yes, that includes Tostino. Bluebell! Contains bioengineered! And Ben & Jerry's don't. This fucking Butterfinger, bioengineered. My whole damn bag of Grand's Pillsbury's cinnamon rolls, bioengineered. I ain't even opened these yet. Motherfucking Rice Krispies. I mean, sons of bitchin' marshmallows. No wonder when I made Rice Krispie treats, they tasted funny. Even the fucking bread, dude. The fucking bread! Oh, Piggly Wiggly's in on it too, huh? Oh no, this is engineered too.
Y'all, the herb done leveled up and created something entirely new that we have never seen before. And that is this pink snow in Iowa, y'all. Have you ever seen pink snow before? Because I've never seen pink snow before. But today we get to see pink snow in Iowa. Now, the snow itself is not inherently pink, but the environment is, the sky is, and the snow is reflecting.
So, just curious, what does it mean when the world turns pink? And no, this isn't a filter, this is just filming of what it looks like outside right now. The world's gone pink. I think it's dusk, but...
What would you do.
Stuff looked kind of cool.
It's like you're looking at this and your brain is like, what is going on here? Like someone changed their filter, but it's like, this proves that the earth is a living, conscious, breathing being. Because how does this happen? Who is doing this? What is causing this? And why have we never heard of this before?
Question.
We're seeing so many different amazing anomalies, and people are saying it's the end of the world type stuff. But this is a new world being birthed right in front of us, y'all. These are some of the things that we have never seen a day in our lives. And thanks to social media, we're seeing these changes, y'all. But if I were you, I would stay away out of the snow. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace.
Scary facts that you're going to wish you never heard.
Talk
Whenever
about
you
it.
take a dip in the ocean, you're basically swimming in a huge graveyard. It's been estimated that throughout history, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have died in the ocean. And in the United States, over 1,600 people have gone missing in national parks. And just in case you needed any more nightmare fuel, here's a video of a massive huntsman spider shedding its skin. And I didn't even know that these things could do that.
Places in America where you can get murdered. Number 1, the Texas Killing Fields. The Texas Killing Fields are a stretch of highway and an abandoned oil field near Houston and Galveston, where since the 70s over 30 people have been found murdered, and none of the murders have been solved. Most of these victims were young girls and they were abducted, went missing, and were found years later dead. And people theorize that there's still an active killer in the area that's targeting women. I actually visited the Killing Fields about 2 months ago. And I went to an area behind a Baptist church where there are 4 crosses, meaning that 4 bodies were found there. Let me tell you, it is eerie out there. Look at this video clip that I took when I was there.
Yeah, brave your soul, because I will not be going there.
Isn't that just eerie? And while we were there, we went ghost hunting near those body dumping sites. We talked about it in our podcast. So if you want to hear the full story of the Texas Killing Fields, we go through all the victims, all the murder suspects. Go listen to my podcast, Murder in America. You can listen to it for free. If you have an iPhone, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, it's everywhere. It's episode number 2, The Texas Killing.
Here are some random facts that you probably didn't know.
Alright.
A company in Japan started giving employees 6 extra vacation days if they didn't smoke, and this actually led to the result of a lot of the employees quitting smoking completely. Around 67% of the Earth is under cloud cover at all times. Police radio codes like 10-4 all begin with 10 solely to allow the radio an extra second to power up, just in case the officer forgot while trying to rush. Only 19 species of mammals outlive humans relative to their size. 18 of them are bats, and the other one is the naked mole rat. Ancient Babylonians did math in base 60 instead of base 10, which is why we have 60 seconds in a minute and 360 degrees in a circle. The French waiters who went on strike in 1907 demanded better pay, more time off, and the right to grow mustaches because lower income workers were not allowed to grow facial hair back then. The mother of the young state rep who cast Tennessee's deciding vote to ratify the 19th Amendment for women's suffrage wrote her son a letter stating, quote, "Be a good boy." There is a creature called the mountain chicken, which despite its name is actually a frog. Also, female frogs regularly play dead to avoid mating with frog males.
Creepy facts.
Wow.
Was disturbing.
Did not know that.
There might be a haunted Russian radio station. UVB 76 is a low-frequency radio station that's been broadcasting since 1982. No one knows where the broadcast is originating. It's mostly just a buzzing noise with the occasional Russian voice transmission. Scaphism was an ancient form of execution where you cover someone with honey, stick them in a hollow log, and allow insects to eat them alive. Babies grow mustaches in the womb that then spread to cover their entire body in hair called lanugo. The body hair keeps them warm and helps regulate body temperature. Ladybugs are known to eat their own larvae to ensure the survival of other larvae. Pigs can eat an entire human body, mostly because they'll just eat anything. There's such a thing as homicidal sleepwalking. It's also called homicidal somnambulism or sleepwalking murder.
Bone-chilling things caught on
Going
camera.
crazy.
This is a photo that was taken by a girl and her sister while at their cousin's wedding. Nothing seems to be strange or unordinary until you look closer. Between the heads of the two girls is the face of an old woman, but the sisters say that this isn't any old lady. They claim that the face of the photobomber belongs to their grandma, but the thing is, their grandma passed away years before this photo was taken. Due to their grandma's deep religious beliefs, the sisters think that their grandma wanted to pay their cousin a visit on her wedding day to congratulate her. What do you guys think? Comment below and follow for more.
We've seen weirder things before. it's caught on camera
He was
too.
watching TV when he sees this. A man by the name Julio uploaded a horrifying video while laying on his bed just by his bedroom door. He captures this.
I might call edit on that one. It's because he's too calm for me. I see something like that in my room.
What looks like this dark humanoid figure with glowing eyes can be seen watching him. Julio explains that this figure is actually just an art project called But I Gave You My Heart.
That's freaky.
As artistic as something might be, having this staring at you at night is sure to cause some nightmares.
This is one of the strangest unsolved mysteries of all time. In 1952, 9 Russian hikers who were all super experienced set off into the Ural Mountains. However, the path that they chose to take on the hike was pretty hard, even for hikers as experienced as them. And to make things worse, they ran into a severe snowstorm that night. So all 9 of the hikers decided to set up their tents and try and wait out the storm. However, at some point during that night, the hikers cut open their tents from the inside and set off into the snowstorm. All 9 of them began to head towards some trees that were nearby their campsite. And this is where the story gets really creepy. A few days later, 3 of the 9 campers were found dead in the trees. And at the base of these trees, there were a bunch of claw marks and scratches on the trunks. And the 6 other hikers were also all found dead, scattered around the area. And upon testing them, their skin and clothes appeared to be radioactive.
Whoa.
If you guys want to learn about a creature that's actually scarier than the Native American skinwalker, a lot of you have not heard of this, and is actually believed to be the reason why so many people go missing in the national forest. Check this out. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have actually heard about this. Alright, so unfortunately, the original origins of the flesh gates, as what are these creatures called, are not known. A lot of people believe that they're cursed spirits, evil spirits, or an unknown cryptid that we haven't discovered. And they like to wreak havoc, and actually people, when they encounter these, most people don't survive to tell the tale. They are also shapeshifters, and unfortunately for a lot of us that live in the United States, they have been sighted in national forests where a lot of people go missing and disappearing without a trace. So one of the things that we are warned through Native Americans is never to whistle when you're out in the woods, and there's a reason for that. This particular creature actually is attracted to people when they're whistling out and about in the woods. So in general, they are predatory against humans, and many believe that they lure people by attracting you and calling you by name or trying to mimic somebody you actually love. Let me know if you want to learn more about these in part 2.
Skinwalkers, man, they
The
have
group you are
different
looking
origins.
at has no idea that this photograph is about to go down as one of the most disturbing photographs in history. In Croatia, a group of friends went hiking and they were taking pictures together and just having fun. But when they looked in the background of one of the photos, they noticed something extremely disturbing. In the background of the photo, there's this tall, mysterious person just standing behind them in the woods. When the group was asked about this photo, they said there was nobody else around at the time of taking it. This photo was analyzed by people and they determined that the photo was never tampered with. But here are a few possible explanations. I think the first explanation is this is just a bunch of trees together, and from afar it kind of looks like a person. Now hear me out. I think the second explanation for this is just the back of a man peeing. Like if I zoom in, just imagine if you were standing in the woods and you were peeing and this is the back of him. The final one is this is the very first picture we've ever gotten of Slender Man. I don't know what I would do if that happened. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
Going with the second theory. That sounds more likely. Nice edit. Slender Man turned into a damn freaking fly or something.
24-year-old mukbanger just died after her stomach ripped open on live stream.
This was also a 10-hour live stream. It was very lengthy, and she was consuming a lot of things, cake, chicken, everything, you name it. She was a Chinese woman by the name of Pan Xiaoting. She died last week from a stomach rupture on the live stream after consuming over 15 pounds of food. The autopsy report suggested that her stomach literally ripped open because there was a lot of undigested food in there and the stomach was distended. This was not the first incident either. She was hospitalized a few months ago for her stomach bleeding for the same thing, eating a lot of food on a live stream. And it's sad too, because even her parents are begging her to stop. A lot of mukbang culture has become a little toxic. The more outrageous it gets, the more viewers, these people get and the more money they make. It kind of incentivizes them to destroy their bodies in this way. I really feel for this young girl and her family. It's just so sad. Hopefully other mukbangers see this and they take this as like a warning. Just be more careful. Your stomach can literally rupture. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, these videos are for informational purposes only.
This is why... To me, like, it gets to a point, dude. It's like, I don't care how much money coming in, man. I ain't destroying my body for it. Health is wealth. That's what people be saying to me, so I wouldn't do that. There's no amount of money you can make. I could be making to have me destroy my body.
You should always lock your doors. A junior in high school was home alone working on a paper while his parents were out to dinner. All night he sits with his back to his door, sitting at his desk with his noise-canceling headphones on. Around 11 o'clock, he takes his headphones off at the same time his parents are returning to the house, and he hears his mom from downstairs yell, "Hey Adrian, what happened?" Confused, he runs downstairs and sees right away what she's looking at. Muddy footprints all over the rug. He tells her, "I didn't leave my desk." And then they realize someone must have broken in. They look at the footprints and there's none leaving the house. They're worried someone's still in the house. They run into the garage, terrified, call the police. Police arrive and they don't find anyone in the house, but they do make a chilling discovery upstairs. The police bring them to the kid's bedroom door, which had been left open all night, and they point to the message written on it in Sharpie. This is the actual transcript of what was written on his door, which means for nearly 2 hours, someone stood in this kid's doorway watching him.
That's why I don't wear nose
Top 5
cancellations.
most dangerous animals in the world. Coming in at number 5, we have the assassin bug, also known as the kissing bug because it's known to bite people on the face. People who are bitten by an assassin bug often contract Chagas disease, which can be deadly to humans. These bugs kill upwards of 12,000 people every single year and can be found in the southern half of the United States. At number 4, we have freshwater snails. Now I know what you're thinking. How can a snail be one of the most deadly animals on Earth? Freshwater snails can have parasitic worms on them, which can get people sick from a disease called schistomiasis, which causes severe pain in the abdomen area. Anywhere between 20,000 to 200,000 people every single year die of this disease, making freshwater snails the 4th most deadliest animal on the planet. Like and follow for the top 3.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 8. Pigs will eat literally anything. There are stories of pigs entering farmhouses and eating newborn babies. Speaking of babies, doctors believed that they didn't feel pain until 1987, so they would operate on newborns without anesthesia. Whistling was a way in which people would summon demons in ancient times. In 1968, every single TV in America shut down for 25 seconds, and there was a sound broadcasted on all of them that many believe was the devil's voice. People born deaf with schizophrenia often see disembodied hands signing them as opposed to hearing voices. A mysterious skeleton only 6 inches long was discovered outside a ghost town in Chile. It was declared to be human and lived for as long as 8 years.
That looks like an alien looking skeleton. So small.
Let's see if you knew more of these fun facts than I did. There has never been a U.S. presidential divorce. I did not know that one. O.J. Simpson's car chase was Domino's Pizza's busiest day of all time. I also did not know that one. A classmate of Anne Frank named Theo Koster and his wife invented the Guess Who board game. Definitely did not know that. That's so random. LeBron James and Steph Curry were born at the same hospital. I did know that one because I'm an NBA fan. Pope Francis worked as a nightclub bouncer in Argentina. Definitely did not know that one. Cool Whip, Tang, and Pop Rocks were all invented by the same man. How would I even known that one? SOS doesn't actually stand for anything. It is just a distinguishable Morse code message. I did not know that. Ukrainian President Zelensky voiced Paddington Bear in the Ukrainian versions of Paddington and Paddington 2. Think I knew that one, so I'm going to give myself that. Did you beat me?
I did
This
not
is
know
why I
that
would
one.
never hire a stranger for a kid's birthday party. And if the photo's not bad enough, the mystery behind it is so much worse. And a reminder before I dive in that if you like all things spooky and true crime, check out my podcast. There's a link to it in my profile. So in the 1940s, the McLaren family in Houston, Texas was having a birthday party for their daughter, Rose. They hired a clown for the party, but an hour before the party started, they get a call from the company saying that the clown they hired was no longer available. They were going to send someone else in his place. And the parents were like, okay, fine, whatever. But then this man shows up to the party. And the kids are all terrified of him. No one really wants to take photos. The man stayed at the party for about 20 minutes and then just disappeared. But get this. After he left, the clown that they hired showed up to the party. And he apologized for being late. And the mother is like, what are you doing here? You canceled on us. And the clown's like, no, I didn't. And it was at that moment that one of the parents noticed that this little boy pictured here was missing. The little boy was never found, and the identity of this man remains a mystery even today.
Be careful, man, who, I guess, you hire for these kids' parties. You never know, man, who's out there plotting. We just saw.
These are the world's most haunted dolls. Starting at number 4. Letta the doll, a 200-year-old wooden doll with human hair. She was discovered beneath a house in Australia. Kerry Walton, the caretaker of this doll, witnessed many strange things ever since he took her inside his home. Marks on the floor, objects mysteriously moving, and strange noises at night. Number 3. Okiku. This doll was purchased by a young man in 1918 in Japan as a gift for his younger sister. Tragically, after a year, the little girl passed away from a severe case of the flu. Sometime later, the family noticed something off about the doll's hair. It was originally short, and it has grown past its shoulder. Until this day, the doll's hair is maintained on a regular basis because it never stopped growing. Number 2, Annabelle. Known for its infamous movie releases and stories with Ed and Lorraine Warren, we do know that this doll is possessed by something that is evil, and whoever held this doll suffered from many bad things. Therefore, the doll is now stored in the Warren Museum, safe and sealed. But Annabelle is not the most haunted doll, because coming at number 1, Robert. Robert is not an ordinary doll. This thing is sinister. This doll is possessed by a demon, and it speaks to children. In Florida, in the early 1900s, this doll was gifted to a young boy named Robert Eugene, and his parents always used to hear Robert and his doll speak in the bedroom alone, and the family used to hear the voice of the doll respond. Eugene kept his doll till 1974 until he passed away at an old age. No one knew why this old man kept his doll for more than 70 years. After his death, Robert was given to the East Martello Museum. Visitors who have taken his picture without permission claim to have experienced terrible misfortune. If you visit Robert in the museum, you will see that this doll is surrounded by apology letters, and also other letters, like permission to look at him. And no one dares to take a picture of Robert.
This is why you shouldn't trust dolls. A mother by the name Haley Moore enjoyed collecting a series of realistic-looking dolls as a hobby. And after giving one of the dolls to her daughter, it's late at night when suddenly she hears her daughter screaming for help. What the cameras capture is horrifying.
What the? Where the mom at? His scream, that should be sending the signals out to the mom. Oh crap.
Let's go.
He just left the door. Throw it in the trash, man. I don't know why he left it in the room.
Her daughter can be seen playing with her toys as the toy seemingly lures her, then something pulls her under the bed. Immediately after discovering this, Haley moved her daughter to another room and kept that room locked.
I found out that people that have lived here have had some ghostly encounters. Was built near, not on, but near a cemetery.
But after many comments begging her to look under the bed, she does so and captures this.
Let it get monster under the bed vibes. That old folklore. It's clear so far. Oh, what the?
The doll she was playing with can be seen moving on its own.
That doll is plastic, that doll is stuffed. There's no way that thing should have moved like that.
What exactly pulled Haley underneath her bed, paranormal or not, I'll let you decide.
There are crazy things happening in the world right now. The man who won over $2 billion in the Powerball jackpot only took home $628 million. Dang, poor guy. Thieves in Florida stole hundreds of shoes by cutting a hole in the top of the ceiling of the mall per day. The first ever orange shark found on Earth was just discovered off the coast of Costa Rica. Dogs in Chernobyl are now turning blue. Tom Brady cloned his former dog that passed away 2 years ago. The number of journalists that focus on local events has dropped by 75% in the last 20 years.
Kanye actually outsmart everyone and get out of his demonic contracts by acting crazy? Check this
This
out.
will never happen again in history.
Okay.
There will never be a situation where people end a multi-billion-dollar deal off of a tweet.
I wouldn't say never.
Gotcha. So I would like to thank everyone that was
But you can see what he's alluding to.
Thank God no one was hurt in the process. And I feel free.
If he's talking about what I think he's talking about, Kanye is outsmarting all of us. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
Do you think Kanye is outsmarting us, or do you think like when he's doing what he's doing, he's putting on a character, or he's really actually calculated? Like, no, he's thinking about this like he's 10 steps ahead, man. We just don't see what he sees. I need to know down below, man, because you know Kanye's trying to, I guess, make a comeback, right? You know, so I just want to see the predictions.
See this, whatever you do, do not kill it. This creature looks horrible, and if you saw this in your house, you would probably think, I need to get rid of this right now. But this is definitely an insect that you do not want to kill if you find it in your house. So this thing is actually a house centipede. They're in pretty much every environment, so if you live in the UK, you're not, safe from this. But the crazy thing is, this is actually a good thing to have in your house, believe it or not. These centipedes actually feed on other bugs such as spiders, ants, woodlouse, anything that you might commonly have in your house. But the interesting thing is, if you find one of these, it may actually indicate that there's something a lot more going on in your house, as they typically pop up when there's an infestation in the property of other things, which could be spiders, ants, anything. So if you find one of these, don't worry about it, because it's actually going to help you by eating whatever else could be there. But instead, you're going to want to check what else could actually be infesting your house, because the one thing you don't want is 100 million spiders falling on you at night.
No, because maybe
Right.
Mr. Beast low-key is the Antichrist, though. Did y'all see that he just partnered with the Rockefellers? Yeah, like J.D. Rockefeller, like one of the most powerful families in history in the world, who run the world. He just partnered with them. Mr. Beast. And there's already a lot of speculation around Mr. Beast being the Antichrist because in a lot of ways he kind of fits the bill. And then you go and you partner with the Rockefellers. That's weird, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, that's weird because he's just an influencer, right? Or he's a philanthropist now, I guess. No other influencer has ever had any dealings with none of these powerful families. Mind you, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan, Carnegie, they're all from the same family, basically. They're all in cahoots. They all work together. They all control the oil and the gas and the whole entire world. If this is not low-key kind of scary to y'all, then y'all need to do some research on the Rockefellers, dude. You also need to look deeper into Mr. Beast, because there's something about him we don't know about. And honestly, if he's really not the Antichrist, which I don't think he is, he does make a great case, right? But this dude is making some weird plays. And he has been making some weird plays. He also just doesn't seem real. Like, his face seems very AI, robotic, no emotion. You know what I'm saying? Nothing past the eyes. So this does not surprise me one bit.
Yeah, I guys really think something's going on with Mr. Beast, man. I don't know, partnering with the, I guess with that type of family. You know, they have a lot of influence, man. And Mr. Beast, he was this influence, but like you said, I think, he transitioned out of that FHG show philanthropist now, bro, because he has the biggest channel on YouTube, bro. Always giving away a lot of money, man. So he has a lot of influence, has a lot of companies. He has a chocolate bar company, makes animation videos. What else he does? Really, he's even trying to, do like this beef links or something like that, man. So he's trying to start a lot of companies, bro. And they know, man, if you get behind Mr. Beast, bro, he has major influence. So maybe that's why they partnered up with him. And yeah, and he opened up the theme park in Saudi Arabia, Mr. Beast Land or something like that. So he's big in everything, bro. What do you guys think, man? Is there something really going on behind the scenes with Mr. Beast, or he's just a regular guy and he just has a lot of influence?
Times when Ouija boards went wrong. A group of teens decided they wanted to play the Ouija board so they could, quote, put a camera down and see what happens. They made jokes about being possessed and were disrespectful the entire time playing, not taking the board seriously at all.
If anybody can hear us, move the thing, because move it.
They come back later after getting no results and decide to take it more seriously. Soon enough, the planchette begins to move on its own. After asking for its name, it moves to the letter 6. They get too scared to continue, and after thinking about it, they decide they need to finish what they started. They ask it what it wants, and it spells out the phrase, no peace, no goodbyes. Their friend Brandon then begins to act strange, moving the planchette across the board and grinning to himself. But what happened next will shock you.
Hey, that's still not funny after these. Hey.
According to them, Brandon became temporarily possessed and began lashing out at the group. Many people have pointed out that they never properly ended the game or followed its rules, so this could be the cause for Brandon's possession. They were able to get him under control, but he has been severely depressed ever since. Was this just a prank filmed by a few teens, or did they capture something truly evil on camera?
There's a lot of old accounts of
conquistadors and explorers in early America where they all encountered some sort of giant. The conquistador Hernando de Soto, he led this expedition with 600 Spanish soldiers. Alabama, this is where they landed.
Okay.
And they're sitting in this village one day and they hear this rustling from the woods, and out comes this, they said, this giant Native American man. And the quote was, "Seeing him, we paused, dumb with amazement, a great limbed giant, the heads of our tallest men reached only his breast." And this Native American, his name was, he went by Black Panther, Wakanda,
forever.
but he was the son of Chief Tuscaloosa. He told the Spanish, "My father would like to meet you." Like, yeah, sure. And then they came across this village. It was completely surrounded by this giant wood wall. They go in, and in the middle of this village is this giant mound. And on this mound is sitting Chief Tuscaloosa. And he's surrounded by 100 Native American men that were guarding him. They said when he stood up, he was 2 feet taller than his son. All the Spanish there were afraid. They're just like, "Oh, we've never seen a man."
Yeah, this is crazy. They saying the Northeast is about to get hit with some of the coldest weather on the planet right before Christmas, y'all. When I say planet, I meant planet. And when I say cold, I'm not talking about a little cold where you just put on a coat and you good. They talking about this shit gonna be extreme. They said this the type of cold that shut down cities and have the pipes frozen to where they might burst. Look at the map, y'all. You finna have all these places right here turn into a fucking freezer, fool. Call it frigid air. Every time we think weather can't get weirder, it gets weirder.
Yep.
One week it's warm, you don't gotta wear a motherfucking coat, just a sweater. Next week it feel like Antarctica. I don't know about the city you from, but DMV, that's how it be. I feel like they be skipping a few years, and then next thing you know is, oh my God, it's once in a lifetime cold. Oh, this is a generational Arctic blast or some shit. So if you stay up to date with me, you know this is coming if you're in the Northeast. Don't act like you're surprised. And if you ain't tapped in, you better be tapped in because I post every day. It's always something every day, so be on the lookout. Y'all let me know.
Long essay titled 3 Tough Truths About Climate, in which he stated, as truth 1, that climate change will not lead to humanity's demise, and that people will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future. In truth 2, he said that sometimes human welfare takes a backseat to lowering emissions with bad consequences, and that because of this, resources need to be shifted away from the battle against climate change and focused towards preventing disease and hunger because, quote, climate change is not the biggest threat to the lives and livelihoods of people in poor countries, and it won't be in the future. And as part of his third and final truth, he said that he wished that there was enough money to fund every climate change idea, but there isn't, and that up until this point, too much good money has been put into expensive and questionable efforts, ultimately claiming that money spent on health and prosperity is our best defense against climate change. But the reason this is so significant is because of the influence Bill Gates has in the climate sector. So when he makes recommendations like this, people in positions of power and the ability to do things tend to listen to him. So will this trigger a shift away from climate funding? Will this have an impact on how activists speak about climate change? Or will this ultimately just get brushed off and debunked?
So I just
I don't know.
want to said McDonald's sells 6.5 million hamburgers a day. And I don't know if y'all know, but 6.5 million hamburgers a day is a lot of hamburgers to be selling. And I know a lot of y'all gonna look at this video and be like, nah, that's a lot. Well, look at this shit. This is why Google is your best friend. Look at that shit right there. Roughly 6.5 million burgers each day.
Big number.
Now, if you do the math on that, that's about 195 million burgers per month that they sell. Give or take. Now, my question to you is, where are all these cows coming?
Preach.
We got some new numbers up. Give me a second. So they're saying one cow can make approximately about 2,000 hamburgers. Follow me. So if you put those numbers with the other numbers, that would mean that they use approximately around 4,000 cows a day. And if you want to do a little more math, that would mean like maybe about 100,000, maybe 90-something thousand cows a month to make 6.5 million hamburgers a day. That's simple math. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying. Just got some new numbers. I just wanted to lay the new numbers on you. You tell me what you think. I'm out.
Stranger Things, there was actually a 6-7 meme. 11 goes...
7.
She looks at him, he's like, 7.
Really? I deadass think they shot certain scenes just so they can make memes. Yo, especially that one scene with, I think her name's Robin.
Which one was that?
Where she goes out of nowhere, Dick.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's gonna be a Twitter meme.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
She's the lesbian one.
Yeah,
right?
and then she goes,
Dick in the washroom, and personally, for us, I like Dick.
clip that out of context, it'll be a big meme.
There was another pause moment where Mike was like, oh, is it hard? And then Luke is like, I'll soften it up.
Let's just hope it's not too hard. It is. How soft? How soft? How soft?
I think they're smart with it, especially with Netflix. They're making that show to make money.
Yeah, 100%. That's a money grab.
Yeah, to throw in jokes like that to make it kind of viral, like a memeable moment. I feel like you're seeing that in Hollywood now. Yep. They're writing it so you post about it, bro.
Not like that one! Jesus, what?
To overstand that everyone's dimension is different. My dimensions is my higher self and my lower self. But they only want us to focus on our lower self. Because once we focus on our higher self, we will understand that this reality is just an illusion of colors. You always hear these old sayings, make sure your heart is lighter than a feather. That's because we have a spaceship in our body that can activate us and take us to other world. That's why we have a Merkabah, a light body spaceship that can take us to any room, any portal, any dimension, anywhere at any given time. But we forgot how to activate it. We forgot how to activate it because we got so attached with this physical world that our heart is now heavier than a feather. Once your heart becomes heavier than a feather, you can no longer travel the Rainbow Bridge and go to other realities. It is by changing our vision and our reality. We are supposed to look at the world like this. When I see you and you see me, we are supposed to see each other with these colors, these frequencies. But they changed our frequencies and our vision. Now we just see the world like this. We are not supposed to see each other like this. Now we just see people as regular human beings when we are really higher dimensional beings. This is our real vision, not this skin. Even certain animals see the world the right way. This is our vision, and this is a vision of a shrimp. They see higher frequencies or real spiritual connections. That's the big secret. It's not just a rainbow city and ice walls in Antarctica. Is millions of other different realities that we need and they need us. Remember, everything in life is connected. So as long as we are detached from these other worlds will be dying because we're not helping them and they're not helping us. The Antarctica ice walls is not just ice. They are sacred crystals that's older than everything on this planet. Once we activate our pineal gland, we will start seeing the world in frequencies and vibrations only, and not just regular human skin. This human skin is the light of illusions. It's the matrix. It's not who we truly are. That's why activating your third eye is so important. Not only will you see us in our true form, you will start seeing different spirits in their true form, and they are always communicating with us, but you gotta open your third eye.
I got another video of one of these entities. Now some people are saying they're UFO, they're an alien, I don't know. Other people are saying it's a balloon where the air's leaking out. But let me tell you something, watch for a little bit, and it doesn't act like a balloon where the air's leaking out. There it just stopped. It just stopped right over this car and it's looking. If the air is leaking out and it's losing altitude, it would keep losing altitude, it wouldn't just stop. Now it changes direction. Looks at the car, changes direction. It's gonna go off the street, dude. I don't know what this is, but it's something that isn't a balloon. Could it be a UFO? Yeah, it's unidentified, it's flying, it's an object. Could it be an alien? I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But this is weird, and it's the second one I found in 2 days. 2 days, I tell you. I don't know what's going on in the world, but weird shenanigans are happening, and it's happening all over the world, and people are catching it on camera. See that thing? It's going right up the street.
Yep.
That's not a balloon losing air. How can a balloon losing air lower altitude, change course, look at a car, and then go up the street? What's going on in the world? Goodbye, entity. Bye-bye, 70!
The president of elevators just admitted the biggest elevator myth was real this entire time. Deep down inside, we all knew this was true, but that sure didn't stop us from spamming that button anyway. The elevator door close button is a lie. It doesn't actually do anything, confirmed. But there was a time it actually did work, and now there's a completely different reason they still keep them in elevators today. To be clear, it was actually the head of the national elevator industry, Karen Penafiel, who revealed this back in 2016, saying that functioning closed door buttons in elevators were actually phased out when the Americans with Disabilities Act passed in 1990, before which they actually did close the door when you pressed it. After this passed, by law, the door had to stay open for a minimum of 3 seconds to accommodate for wheelchair and other disability access. And no matter how many times you press it today, it will always take at least 3 seconds to close. But even though you know this, you are still gonna rage spam that button for a totally different purpose. Because although they no longer do anything, elevator companies still continue to intentionally include them in today's models. Turns out humans psychologically don't like the feeling of being trapped inside a moving metal box they're not in control of. Yup, it's the placebo effect, and it works. As psychology professors ran studies to show that including these buttons diminishes stress in elevators by giving people the illusion of control. So I guess you can say,
bruh, what the hell did they do to the twins, y'all? What happened to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, y'all? What the heck, y'all? Bro, these celebrities are something else. They are doing something to these people, y'all. This is beyond me, man. These people look like the very first cavemen. Are you kidding me, bro? What is going on here? So can we all agree that everything is going downhill right now? Because all the celebrities are looking good. Hollywood is shutting down. The music industry is crap, man. The movies are not hitting like they used to anymore. Like, we're literally waking up from this illusion. And all of this was part of the illusion, y'all. Like, it's crazy how they are changing so much, man. Every person that we grew up with or that we know that we watch on television has changed exponentially. They even got them rocking all the gold, man. Like, what? Like, is this part of the golden age? You know, the golden dome, that whole Donald Trump thing? Like, this is crazy. Hollywood is doing way too much, man. They got these girls looking like the troll dolls. Like, y'all remember them things, the troll dolls? But I heard this is Louis Vuitton's new cover for their Christmas magazine. They're really trying to get y'all to go out there and go all out and buy some stuff because they're giving you twins this year. Like, y'all see that? Like, nobody's buying stuff, so they decided to give you twins. A 2-for-1 deal. Very interesting time that we live in, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this. The ship is here.
This man who worked at Harvard stole people's heads, brains, and skin from cadavers and sold them in the black market. 57-year-old Cedric Lodge was a Harvard Medical School morgue manager and just pleaded guilty to stealing and selling body parts from cadavers. He worked at Harvard for 30 years and ran a program where people donate their body parts for science, and it wasn't until recently that they found out he was stealing body parts. From 2018 to 2020, he secretly removed organs, brains, skin, hands, faces, and dissected heads after the bodies were used for research. Instead of disposing of the bodies, he took them home to New Hampshire. His wife was also in on this, and they sold the remains to buyers in different states. And they made good money doing this, apparently tens of thousands of dollars. Cedric pleaded guilty this week and faces up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Harvard did fire him in 2023 and called his actions a morally reprehensible betrayal. The school also insists that he did act alone and that no other Harvard employee was involved. But get this, some human remains were also found being sold on Facebook Marketplace.
Life hacks.
Do you guys believe the corruption just stopped there, or there could possibly be more to that story, Seekers? I don't know. That sounds like a freaking deep rabbit hole we might have to go down. His wife is in on it too, so who's to say some other people weren't in on it? You never know.
That everyone needs to know part 2. To remove a tight ring that's stuck on your finger, all you have to do is grab a string and tuck it under the ring. And then grab that same string and wrap it around your finger, and from there all you have to do is grab the other side and start pulling. The ring will magically remove itself. All you have to do to remove tape paper without ripping it is to hold the tape from both ends and start pulling really hard, which will then cause the tape to get removed super easily. If your house key broke in the lock for some reason, just get yourself a hot glue stick and place it inside the lock just like this, and just wait for it to dry a little bit and pull it really hard, and there you have it, your key is out.
Wow.
These are 8 horrifying facts.
that will probably keep you up at night. The Voynich manuscript is an ancient book full of symbols and drawings that no one can translate till this day. Dracula was based on a real person. Vlad Dracula, a Romanian ruler that very much enjoyed watching people bleed to death. In 1963, the Bronx Zoo had an exhibition called The Most Dangerous Animal in the World. It was a mirror. Two fishermen used their dead friend's ashes as fishing bait and they caught the world's biggest carp. These are how Halloween costumes looked like in the 30s. If Earth stopped spinning for 1 second, everything and everyone will die instantly. A new homeowner found an old doll boarded up in his wall holding a note saying she killed a family in this house. This house is named the John Lawson House, and nobody knows who lives here. Every day, this porch is occupied by a number of female mannequins. The number of mannequins, the positions they're in, and the clothes they wear are changed every day, and no one knows who is doing this and why. Like for part 18.
Stay away from that house, man. John Lawson's house, noted.
Scary facts that will make your skin crawl. BT Point 6. Phobias are based on how we died in our past life. Maybe that's why we're afraid to do things we never tried, because it's how we died. Experts said that dark areas, such as abandoned houses and vacant rooms, are the possible places where you can feel the presence of ghosts. So if you're alone right now while reading this post, there is a chance that someone is watching you. If you're awake at night without a reason, then it means that you are awake in someone else's dreams.
Really? Interesting. Something standing out.
Scary fun facts until the Orbeez overflow. There are microscopic mites that live in your eyelashes. Being buried alive happens so often on accident that they've now invented safety coffins. In the 1800s, dentures were made with real teeth from the deceased. Radio station UVB-76 has been broadcasting since 1982. All it does is make creepy noises and nobody knows where it's broadcasting from. Chainsaws were originally invented for childbirth. The final part of Mount Everest that you have to climb is known as Rainbow Valley. They call it that because all you see is all the different colored jackets from the frozen hikers. And it looks like I'm out of time. Follow for more fun facts.
Wow, okay.
Disturbing facts that may ruin your day. You are the oldest that you have ever been and the youngest that you will ever be. Your bed absorbs 26 gallons of your sweat every year. There are 15 dead people for every one person alive. Science can't measure exactly how strong a gorilla is, so there's no sure way on how to contain them. The gorilla enclosures at zoos are just based on trust. Every 18 minutes, someone in the United States has a brain aneurysm that ruptures. Vampire moths are real and can feed on the blood of humans. A jar of peanut butter contains 10 or more rodent hairs and can contain up to hundreds of insect fragments. Big Bird almost joined NASA's Challenger mission to help kids become more interested in space. Millions of kids would have watched Big Bird and the Challenger space shuttle explode on live television. Follow for more.
Scary facts that will give you nightmares, part 5. First up, did you know that pigs can eat literally anything, including humans? One thing a lot of people don't know about pigs is that there have been many records of farmers dying because their pigs ate them. This is usually because while tending to the pigs, the farmers will run into an accident like falling or something, and then the pigs will feast on their body. Next up, have you ever heard of fatal familial insomnia? Well, it's a rare genetic disease that can be inherited and makes it impossible for someone to sleep for months. Since this type of insomnia can last for so long, it can leave someone so exhausted that they develop high blood pressure, weight loss, severe exhaustion, and then death. And lastly, did you know that trees can grow inside of your lungs? In Russia, doctors were performing surgery on a man because they thought he had lung cancer, but instead of a tumor, they found a 5-centimeter tree branch in his lungs. They later found out that he swallowed a fir bud, which then grew into a tree branch.
We made dire bees almost 70 years ago, and we have not stopped paying for it. In the 1950s, folks flew in African honeybees to Brazil because they figured they could breed them with European honeybees in the hopes of making a hybrid better bee, one that was more productive than Euro bees and less on-site than Afro bees, because Afro bees are Black Air Force tier of trouble. Brazilian beekeepers used excluder screens to keep the African queens from getting out. Problem is, they did not tell the new guys. Someone saw the screen screening, and was like, oh, we can't have that, and removed the screen, sending 26 African queens and swarms of Euro bees into Brazil, which quickly led to Africanized honeybees, or more known as killer bees. You see, generational trauma then made these African bees that much more trigger happy. Normally, a European queen bee will usually send out 20 to 30 attack bees at once. African honey queens unload half the whole clip, sending thousands, sometimes 30,000 attack bees at once. Not only that, but they chase people further than Euro bees and sting 10 times as much, with cases of people being tailgated by an angry swarm for a quarter of a mile. There's even stories of swarms waiting directly above a body of water so that the moment the runner comes up for air, all he gets is smoke. Over 1,000 people have been turned past tents by an air force of spite flies. And after being released in Brazil in '57, they hit America in the '90s like Will Smith and left their mark like the Fresh Prince left on Chris. And to add insult, they also somehow nerfed the honey industry, so nature really slapped us for cutting corners. And today, Africanized honeybees are like a rash infecting the US Southwest. Moral of the story, be better or be turned into letters, 3 in particular, the more you know.
The strangest places in the world, part 1. Firstly, on top of a hill in Pennsylvania, some stones can be found that shouldn't actually be there, because there's no nearby high terrain where they could have originated. These are called the ringing rocks, because whenever something hits these stones, they make a strange ringing noise.
Weird.
Next is the Petrifying Well in England, where water flows from a rock and turns whatever it touches into stone. As you can see, people often leave items like hats, teddy bears, or even bicycles, which appear to have already been turned into stone. Some people believe there's a mystical power, but the scientific reason behind this is the unusually high mineral content in the water, which forms a hard mineral shell on any object it comes into contact with. And within a few months, everything essentially becomes a stone statue.
Stone water.
The parents of 20-year-old Sudishka Kunaki believe that their daughter drowned in the ocean in the Dominican Republic and are pushing authorities to declare her deceased. Sudishka's parents also said that they don't believe Joshua Wright, who was the last person seen with their daughter before she went missing, to be involved in her death. Joshua also testified that Sudishka's parents hugged and thanked him for trying to save their daughter's life. Now, authorities were really surprised that Sudishka's parents asked to declare their daughter deceased after only 12 days of her going missing, when usually investigations go on for months before they stop looking for someone. But I don't know, in this case, it seems like their parents are genuinely convinced that Joshua didn't do anything to hurt their daughter, and I guess after seeing all the surveillance footage of both of them together before she went missing, the only other possibility is that she drowned in the ocean. This is the last time Sudishka and Joshua were seen together at the resort, and a lot of people have speculated that perhaps Sudishka was abducted on the beach after Joshua fell asleep, because remember, they were both really intoxicated. But I don't know, that seems very unlikely, especially at a resort in the Dominican Republic where, for the most part, it's pretty safe.
Animal group names that should be illegal for how happy they make me for free. A group of ferrets is called a business, which means I can finally show this picture without being out of context. And if that sounds too professional, just remember this first Slinky's Latin name means stinky weasel thief. A group of vultures is called a wake, but only when they're eating. When they're flying, they're called a kettle. A group of porcupines is a prickle. A prickle of porcupines, which also describes how they mate. A plurality of platypus is a paddle. Several sloths are a snuggle. A group of baboons in one place is a congress. No comment. A group of crows is scientifically referred to as a murder. Did you know crows will investigate the cause of death when a member of their murder croaks? Sloths will seemingly mourn the dead and grieve the loss of their... Oh, never mind. A group of ravens is an unkindness, and for the record, if you want to know the difference, if you're wondering if it's a crow or raven, it's a crow. And if you're wondering what in the Edgar Allan Nevermore looking... It's probably a raven. Unkindness comes from the idea that ravens are deadbeat parents that often evict their chicks before they're even ready. They're also called a conspiracy. You know what else is a conspiracy? A lot of lemurs. This entire scene is a conspiracy, and the biggest one is that ring-tailed lemurs are female-dominated, so King Julian is actually a queen and a Julia. A group of parrots is a pandemonium, and once upon a time, a parrot was kicked out of a former president's funeral because he kept swearing through the service, so yeah, pandemonium. And lastly, a group of alpacas is a herd, but an alpaca giving birth is called an unpacking. Send it back.
Another cold case has been solved thanks to DNA. On December 23, 1983, 24-year-old Ronald Lee Novak was found dead in his home in rural Walker, Iowa. He was found by a friend with his hands tied behind his back in an unheated room in his apartment in the dead of winter in Iowa. He had been beaten and shot, but it was determined that his cause of death was a combination of his injuries, shock, and hypothermia. Investigators believed he was killed in a robbery or burglary gone wrong, but they had no suspects, and unfortunately, his case went cold. But over the last decade, DNA from Ronald's case was being tested, including DNA from his clothing and from a hammer found in his home believed to be used in the attack. Genetic genealogy allowed investigators to narrow the DNA down to 3 brothers, and then further DNA testing revealed that it was likely that 64-year-old Michael Schappert, who now lives in Fairview, Oregon, was the likely killer. The investigation revealed that Schappert, quote, likely went to Novak's home with the intent to rob him of money and marijuana. And now, more than 40 years after Ronald Novak's murder, he has been arrested. Schappert was arrested in Oregon and is being held there pending extradition to Iowa, and he is facing first-degree murder charges. The case is not completely closed, though, because it is believed that at least one more suspect was involved in Ronald's murder. Lynn County Sheriff Brian Gardner said, quote, by naming a suspect, it may cause other people to now come forward that maybe weren't willing to do so previously. Or maybe this has jogged their memory some 41 years later. Ronald's sister said after the arrest that the investigation has been a long ride for the family, and she didn't know if she would ever see this day come. She said, quote, you start to give up hope that there will be an answer. I wanted it so bad. We look forward to the trial. At least now Ronald's family has answers, and hopefully he will soon be getting the justice he deserves. Rest in peace, Ronald.
These are some...
Rest in peace. Justice will come to you sooner or later.
If you could rack your brain right now to ask yourself what is the most disturbing Disney Channel original movie, which one would you pick? If you chose Don't Look Under the Bed, you're correct, because the movie actually almost never even made it to television. Any of the sequences that did eventually make the cut were considered so disturbing, this is actually one of the only Disney Channel original movies that has a TV PG rating. Anne Sweeney, who was the president of Disney Channel at the time, as well as countless other executives, had a lot of issues with this film. And even to this day, there are still some sequences, some scenes that have never seen the light of day. They were not going to be included in the movie. And I think in part, the credit should go to the director, who was really trying to creatively push the boundaries of what could be included in children's horror. Even just beyond the disturbing imagery, they explored some pretty dark themes in a children's movie, starting to play with psychological horror when Frances can see things that everybody else thinks she's crazy for. In 2006, Disney Channel had to pull it from the October catalog. It will not be on Disney Channel again.
YouTubers who became murderers, part 1. This was the YouTuber Elliot Rogers' last video.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you.
This was called the Day of Retribution. The son of a Hollywood filmmaker killed 6 people. Roger left the car and saw students across the street. He shot at them, taking the life of Veronica Weiss and Catherine Cooper. The suspect proceeded on foot and fired several rounds into the deli. One of the bullets struck and took the life of a student named Christopher Martinez. Then he drove down the left side of the road so he could fire at 2 pedestrians. Police then came running across the park, and Roger fired at them as he drove. But he was struck in the left hip. After he hit a cyclist, he crashed his car into the back of an SUV.
This guy in Brazil would dress up as Batman with a red hood. He even had his own homemade weapons like the Batarang and everything. He would break into suspected criminals' homes and just beat them senseless. This is as close to lore-accurate Batman as we might get. His name is Rodrigo Rodriguez da Silva. He was also known as the Punisher of Paranaíba in Brazil. He was arrested back in 2023. When he broke in, he had like bladed gauntlets, like the Batarang, a utility belt full of different weapons and stuff. He also told police he had intentions to use all of his weapons on the person's home that he broke into. In Brazil, homicides are very, very prevalent in the country. He got kind of sick of all these criminals getting away with it, so he decided to take justice into his own hands. I forgot one more thing. He also had a submachine gun on him. It's not pictured here, but crazy. And mind you, these are suspected criminals, so maybe some of these aren't confirmed criminals, but it's just crazy to think about, Batman breaking into your home and just beating you senseless at night. And the work that he put in to make his suit and his weapons and everything, crazy stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Her father.
You have a real life Batman, bro, in Brazil? How come that didn't make that in the news or something, man? This is my first time hearing it, bro. He real life tried to become Batman, bro. He had the weapons, the batarangs, all that. That's freaking crazy to think about, man. We got a real life Batman before GTA 6.
Judith Eva Barcy was born on June 6 of 1978 in Los Angeles, California. Her parents, Joseph and Maria, were originally from Hungary and had met at a restaurant in California. From a very young age, Maria was fascinated with Hollywood and was determined to make her daughter famous. Judith was discovered while she was ice skating one day and was asked to come out in a commercial. From there, it was just the start of her career, and she came out in the movies All Dogs Go to Heaven and Land Before Time. Judith was very small for her age, and she even started taking hormone injections to make herself grow. Her success helped her family thrive, and she was making about $100,000 a year, and her parents used that to buy a 3-bedroom house in Los Angeles. Although Judith's career was thriving, something sinister was going to happen behind the scenes. Judith's father had drinking problems, and he was angry with his daughter's success. He had even gotten arrested 3 times for driving under the influence. Many of Maria's friends told her to leave her husband, but she refused because she was scared that she was going to lose the house, her belongings, and that he would unalive her somehow. On July 27th of 1988, around 8:30 a.m., the family's neighbor was watering her garden when she heard an explosion. That neighbor rushed to call 911 because she was afraid that Joseph had unalived his family. That neighbor was right because Joseph had shot Maria and Judith in the head and then poured gasoline everywhere. Judith and Maria were buried together in Hollywood Hills, California, and Joseph is said to be in an unmarked grave.
This might be the most insane case of police cover-up I've ever seen in my entire life. Arrest has finally been made in the murder of Sandra Birchmore, who all of this started back in 2010 when Sandra was just 12 years old. She enrolls in the county's police youth program where her alleged killer, Officer Matthew Farwell, is an instructor. At some point, Officer Farwell, who's 27 years old, begins grooming Sandra, and by the time she's 15, they're having a full-on intimate relationship, if you know what I mean. When Sandra turns 18, she's obviously aged out of the program, but maintains a relationship with Officer Farwell, who is married with children. In October of 2020, Sandra tells Farwell that she wants a child, and he apparently agrees to get her pregnant in exchange for her silence about the statutory R-word and extramarital affair. 2 months later, Sandra's pregnant, and after Farwell finds out, he becomes physically violent with Sandra. She told multiple friends that Farwell had pushed her, shoved her, and even placed her in a chokehold. In January the following year, someone called the police department and leaked this information. When the employee told Farwell about this phone call, he became visibly angry and told them to keep this information secret. Within days of that phone call, Farwell starts to allegedly plan Sandra's murder. All of a sudden, he wants a spare key to her apartment. 2 days after that, he starts canvassing her apartment, looking for places to carry out the murder. He inspected her bathroom closet, specifically places where items could be hung, and his behavior was strange enough that Sandra told multiple friends that she was concerned. A week later, on February 1st, Farwell enters Sandra's apartment wearing a face mask where police say he strangled her to death. And by the way, while Farwell was allegedly committing this murder, his wife was in the hospital giving birth. Family ended up hiring a private medical examiner who did rule it as a homicide. After years of a federal investigation and her family refusing to stay silent, Matthew Farwell has finally been indicted for her murder.
He is interested in blondes. I'm not blonde, I'm a brunette. So I'd go in the shower, take fingernail clippers, and just cut my hair off. Trying to do everything I can to get his attention again. I would have given anything to that man. I would have bought the sun, the moon, and the stars and gave it to him on a platter. And that hurts me that I loved him that much.
Why does it hurt you?
Because I feel like no one is ever gonna love him as much as I loved him at that time. And it makes me feel better knowing that he's truly sorry for hurting me. But it doesn't change anything. Like, I married Ryan. I have a marriage now. I'm wearing this wedding ring that belonged to Ryan's mom. Like, I have a commitment to my husband. And I want to keep that.
Talking about her ex.
But what's gonna happen when Ryan and I have an argument? Is that little thought in the back of my head gonna say, Ken is single?
Jeffrey Dahmer targeted this 14-year-old boy. The police found him naked, bleeding from his rectum and everything. And Jeffrey Dahmer convinced the police to return him. He told the police that was his boyfriend. They had an argument. Police returned him to Dahmer, and then he got mutilated that night and killed. His name was Konorak Synthasophone. And like I said, he was found naked, drugged, and bleeding from his rectum on a street corner, and police returned him to Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, dude, if you're seeing blood on somebody, Maybe investigate, ask some more questions. His death was also absolutely horrific. He had a hole drilled into his head, and then Jeffrey Dahmer poured acid inside of it to try to recreate a real-life zombie out of him. He was trying to melt the kid's brains out. I think if the kid acted out and got arrested by police, he would have had a better chance to live. This is just so crazy that you would see the kid in this condition and decide to return him to, like, the person that's claiming to be his boyfriend. Hell, even if it was his boyfriend, right? Just look at the situation he's in, dude. Just investigate more. There's obviously some sort of abuse going on here. But it is sickening how much Jeffrey Dahmer actually got away with. This is just one of his many sick and twisted ways that he killed people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
People are just finding out about the 500-year-old girl who is coming back to life. Stick with me because you're in for a wild ride, as you can see here. I did a video on this a long time ago, but for some reason it's circulating round again right now, freaking people out online and on social media, so here we go. So this mummy right here is known as La Doncella, or the Children of the Lulacana. These different mummies here are all part of the same family, the Children of the Lulacanu, where this group of mummies were found preserved at the top of the Lulacano volcano. But just wait, because it's crazy. This is the Lulacano volcano, which they were found right at the summit of this. And as you can imagine, it's pretty high up and pretty damn cold. The first crazy part is that look how realistic she looks right now, and she's over 500 years old. But with all of these people being believed to have lived in the 14 and 1500s, and it's also believed they were and sacrificed when they were only around 13 years old, then buried and left at the top of this. Now where it gets even more interesting, of course, the archaeologists found these preserved bodies with all the body features and everything still being there after 500 years. Normally you'd be gone, mate. But this is how you might imagine someone who had passed away about 20-30 years ago at tops. But by far the craziest bit out of all of this, I know you're waiting for it, she's coming back to life. Essentially, what happened is the scientists who were doing the test when they got these preserved mummies obviously wanted to figure out how the hell is this possible. Of course, from being at the altitude and those sort of temperatures, it froze her body and her insides. So they found her organs perfectly intact, healthier than probably some of you, and even frozen blood still in her body and in her veins. So she was basically the first person to get cryogenically frozen. Now, no, she's not necessarily coming back to life, just going to get up and start walking again. All of these mummies are now in a museum. But the point of what people have been saying is she could technically come back to life. I actually saw a few scientists have said that it could potentially be possible, but it's not exactly going to be the easiest thing in the world, so I highly doubt it.
And they said her organs intact. Blood and stuff still circulating. Certainly a chance, but like I said, I don't know. Mummies? This shit getting crazy, bro.
Correct! If someone is trying to make you decide in a hurry, they are probably giving you a bad deal. Walk away. If someone has a panic attack, start breathing regularly and loudly. The person that is panicking will subconsciously start breathing in rhythm with you. When a group of people laugh, they tend to look at the person they like the most. Nervousness and excitement have the same body reaction, so if you're nervous for a speech, trick yourself into thinking you're actually excited. If you think someone is watching you, fake a yawn, then watch them. Get someone to contribute to an idea and they will more likely accept it. If you whisper to someone, it's more likely they will whisper back even if there's no good reason to lower your voice. If you want to make someone feel uncomfortable, look at their forehead while you're talking to them. If you want somebody to open up to you, ask them a question. If the person only partially answers it, remain silent and keep eye contact. This will pressure the person into talking more. If you want to be more persuasive, reduce the use of the words I think and I believe. Okay. Touching someone on their shoulder or on their knee creates a stronger emotional bond with that person. Chew gum if you are still nervous. Our brains assume that if we are eating, then we are not in any immediate danger, lowering our fight or flight response. When you approach a group of people, notice if they turn their feet towards you or away from you. If their feet point away from you, you are probably not welcome. Subtly nodding when people are talking to you indicates that you are genuinely interested in what they are having to say and they're going to like you more. If you take a moment to look at someone's eye color when meeting them, you'll be giving them the perfect amount of eye contact. If there is a mirror behind where you are ordering, you are less likely to be rude because nobody wants to see themselves actually be rude. If you buy the first pitcher at the bar with your friends, you'd be surprised how far you could go by saying, I bought the first one. If someone is making jokes at your expense, act like you can't hear them and ask them to repeat it multiple times. By the time they say it a third or fourth time, nobody's laughing. When someone remembers you, they are most likely going to remember the first memory and the last memory of you. So make sure you always leave a good last impression too. After you have learned how to do something new and have done it yourself, the fastest way to retain that information is to teach somebody else. If you have a song stuck in your head and you can't get it out, try and listen to the whole song all the way through while singing it. Your brain is treating the song like an unfinished task in your subconscious. Plan something for every Wednesday that you can look forward to. You'll start to look forward to it on Monday, and by the time Wednesday comes around, you're already halfway through the week and almost to the weekend.
Wow.
If you ask someone to do a small favor for you, their subconscious mind is going to register that they like you because they're doing a favor for you. Showing the palms of your hands while talking to someone subconsciously communicates that you have nothing to hide and that you can be trusted. Whenever you're introducing a new idea to someone and you lead with the words, "This might not be for you, but," it intrigues their interest and makes it feel like it probably is for them. If you need to remember to do something tomorrow, put something in your room out of place. If you don't want to get out of bed, throw your pillow across the room. The next day, you will see this item out of place and it will jog your memory of what you need to accomplish. If you're procrastinating, just stop telling yourself how much work you have to do. This will overwhelm you. Instead, tell yourself you only have to work for 5-10 minutes, and then you're likely going to continue working past those minutes. People who are lying will normally blink more than normal, hide the palms of their hands, glance up to the right, mess with their hair, or use abnormally long sentences. If you're trying to get over a breakup, do not use fictional scenarios. Imagining your person with someone new is only going to make you more angry and sad about something that's not even real. If you want to create a deeper connection with someone you're interested in, ask them these two questions. What do you think we have in common? And what do you like most about me? If you are suffering from racing thoughts, use the 3-3-3 rule. Name 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and 3 parts of your body. This will help center your mind and bring you back to the present. When someone apologizes for something that you don't feel like was that big of a deal to apologize for, they're probably telling you subconsciously what actually bothers them if it was done to them. If they apologize for interrupting you, they probably really just don't like being interrupted themselves. Follow for more psychology hacks.
There's something going on underground they're not telling us. But why is this water bottle shaking? Just sitting on the ground.
Earthquake?
There's something insane going on beneath us.
Underground city?
The elite supposedly have a $21 trillion city underneath us. The level of weird just keeps going up every single day. I don't think this is an earthquake. What do you think? Stay weird.
So you guys are aware that it is outwardly admitted that McDonald's meat contains human DNA, right? So what if they were doing the same thing to the dogs? Do you guys remember this commercial over here? Check this out.
Bacon! Bacon! Where's the bacon? I smell bacon! 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 Gotta be bacon! Only one thing smells like bacon! That's bacon! 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 There! From that bag! What's it say? I can't read! Please! Please! Get it out of the bag! Chewy, yummy, smoky bacon!
There you go.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! No! 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 It's bacon!
No, it's Bacon Strips brand dog snack from Purina. Bacon Strips. Dogs don't know it's not bacon.
Did y'all hear her? She said, no, it's not bacon, it's bacon. Dogs don't know it's not bacon. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because there is a documentary that actually tells you that bacon is actually dog meat. That pig meat is actually too expensive and dogs are more cheaper, and it explains the whole process for you guys, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. So they've been feeding dogs this whole time, just like allegedly with humans.
Bacon is now processed and even pre-cooked in factories. It all starts with a load of skinned dog carcasses. Most factories elect to use dogs because it's cheaper than pork, and customers can rarely taste the difference.
Wow.
The meat is placed skin side down on a conveyor belt to ensure the employees judge it only by the content of its character. The conveyor takes the meat to a cheese rolling machine, which pelts it with slices of Kraft Singles.
This process is rough on the meat, so it's not uncommon for some afterbirth to be evacuated by the product. This afterbirth travels down a separate conveyor belt, where it will then be used in cosmetics. Meanwhile, the meat pieces are bathed in salt water and are sent to employees to begin the brining process, giving the bacon its signature fishy taste.
So there you go. To everyone that thought that they were eating pig, you guys are actually eating dog, and also dogs are actually eating dogs as well too. This is crazy, y'all, because this is what NDAs do. This is what NDAs do. Did you guys know any of this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
I didn't.
People, it's happening again. They hit Russia with the mud flood. Oh, you son of a bitch. Now, I didn't think I was going to be alive long enough to see this. This is mud flood. This is mud flood.
It is.
For all those people who didn't believe me, I told y'all. This is going on right now in Russia. If you can't stop them one way, just send in the mud flood. And Pakistan,
all over,
they're also being hit with the mud flood. What is going on? This one seems to be mixed with something that made it look like cement. People, the world is changing. Are we gonna survive?
This video is for anyone that uses their phone while it's plugged in. This is a non-contact voltage meter. As you can see, no voltage going to the phone right here. When the phone is plugged in, you're gonna see a lot of voltage. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, guys. Look how far away it is. It's still measuring voltage, right? So, a lot of people sleep next to their phone that's plugged in. And it is literally, this is going into your fucking brain, your body, damaging all your cells. But watch this. Not holding the phone, no voltage in the hand. Holding the phone, voltage meter starts going off. Crazy stuff, guys. Do not, I repeat, do not use your phone while it's plugged in. Do not keep it next to your bed. Put it in the bathroom or something. You don't need it fucking close to you overnight. Just, this is very, very dangerous stuff, guys. Okay? Peace and love.
See, because do you guys keep your phones plugged up next to you, I guess at night when it's charging? I think watching this video is going to make you rethink that, bro. Just put it in a drawer. Just keep it far away from you, man. We saw those voltage levels.
Crazy things going on in the world right now. Over $1.4 million in Nintendo Switch 2s were stolen from a semi-truck in Colorado. An ambulance that was transporting a dead body hit a pothole so hard that the body came back to life. A Titanic escape simulator game is coming to PlayStation in 2026, probably before GTA 6. A Florida man was arrested after attempting to cross the Atlantic in a homemade hamster wheel. Of course, Florida. New York City officially now has a subtropical climate. The first ever heat advisory was issued for Alaska last month. A Swedish billionaire bought 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest just to protect it. A 98-year-old World War II veteran used a tank to run over a Tesla. The Taliban suspended any activity of playing chess in Afghanistan due to the religious considerations and concerns that it's a form of gambling. Squatters were not leaving this man's home, so he moved in with them.
I want you to be very honest with me. What is happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is normal? They are claiming that what happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is being deemed the 1,000-year flood.
Whoa.
Why? Because it's just not normal. Take a look at this video. Take a look at that right there. Certain areas received up to 12 inches of rain. Just look. Tell me this is all normal.
Don't look like it.
Look at that. This map right here shows the incredible totals that most areas received. Take a look at it.
I see the highest is 14.
The question needs to be asked, such as I did with the floods in Texas. Why weren't they warned about what was coming? Somebody had to have some type of knowledge of the amount of flooding that was on the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Take a look at this video. Just look at that.
Whole apartment gone.
The incredible amount of water that accumulated in that street as she's trying to drive through it. This is unbelievable. Look at this. Wow.
That's too high.
So my question to you, as always, what is going on with these intense, crazy storms causing all this major flooding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
What has happened to Justin Bieber? Yo, Justin, are you okay, man? He posted this up on social media. What is going on anymore with this guy? He seems to be posting up a lot of weird stuff on social media. And now look at him. What is going on? Yo, Justin, I hope that you are okay, my guy. This is very bizarre stuff, you all. And really, this doesn't even look like the same person at all. It really doesn't. So what do you all think is going on with this guy? Comment down below and let me know. But man, I hope that everything is okay because, again, this is very bizarre stuff. The fact that he posted this up on social media. What is he trying to say? What is he trying to say? Is he trying to say that he needs help? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is this is very bizarre. Again, what do you all think?
So now the LBs is giving people warnings about aliens coming here in November. But these aliens don't look like this. They are trying to say they look like this. 7 feet tall black aliens. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. First, I want to say the black carbon aliens control everything in this universe. These people are trying to distract you from the real truth. So when these aliens come, will it be real or will it be Project Bluebeam? I need people to understand we are living in different timelines. What if I told you the timeline we live in right now is really dead? They need other life forms to come back to save us. These so-called world leaders, they've been cloned by the great aliens. Remember, our timeline is not moving, therefore it's dead. These great aliens are really artificial intelligence that live underground. They are not really aliens, they are robots, and they live underground bunkers. They've been working with these scientists for a long ass time because these great aliens or robots was once humans. So when you look at these life forms, you are looking at yourself in the future. They was once us. They sacrificed their spirituality for technology. And when they did this, they lost their spirit. Now they're trying to get back their spiritual roots. And if you look at the world, you will notice the same shit is happening all over again. Look at the internet. The internet is really the hive mind where everyone talk the same, look the same, think the same, react the same, trending topics. Every world leader you see is a great alien or artificial intelligence. They try to give us this brainwashed ass stories about man coming from monkeys. No, we are becoming artificial intelligence, the great aliens.
Elon Musk. What do you guys think about that theory, bro? He says that he can go, it looks like he was about to we can go from around, he's about to go even deeper. They said the aliens look like surfer now. That was not what I imagined these thought aliens were gonna look like, but
says that AI, artificial intelligence, could become more dangerous than nuclear war.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
Well, I definitely don't want nuclear war. So if AI is worse, that's no good. Shabadoo!
Hey y'all, look at this, y'all.
Okay.
Look at this. I don't know if you guys been paying attention to the skies as of late, but the sun has been changing. Look at this video over here Gina Marie Colvin took of the sun in her state, y'all. This thing looks like a eyeball. A real eyeball, y'all. I got some crazy videos to show y'all, but check this out.
This sun, I've never got this image before with my phone. It looks pretty strange, like this.
Eyeball.
Yo, it looks like a super halogen ball, y'all. Why did it look like a red Kamehameha? A Masenko? Yo, that is crazy, y'all. Now check this out. She also caught it doing this the other day. What is that? Is that somebody standing? Is that a light being in it? Or some type of arrow? It looks like something's obfuscating the sun. Y'all see that? Have y'all noticed that the sun has gotten brighter since the last solar eclipse of 2024? I noticed this, y'all. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. But check this out. What is going on here? This phenomenon, this thing right here was caught in the skies of Canada. Like, how do you explain this, y'all? This is the Lord of the Rings. Are you kidding me? Y'all, this is why that song, I Can Feel It in the Air, is going viral right now, because how do you explain this? This is crazy. This is literally the conjunction of the spheres, y'all. And get this. Y'all see how they recorded this in Canada? Tell me why they were seeing the same thing in Cortez, Jamaica, y'all. Look at this. The same thing that they're seeing in Canada right now. What is this? What is this, y'all? That thing is huge. What is this? Oh, what? Wow. Y'all, can y'all feel it? Can y'all feel it? Cause I can. Let me know exactly what it is that you feel down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Here's some of the most disturbing moments in kids' TV shows. Invader Zim has some disturbing moments, but the episode Dark Harvest definitely takes the cake. Problems arise when Zim is sent to the nurse. Realizing she'll discover his alien organs, he starts to steal the organs from kids within the school and replacing them with inanimate objects. After stealing an organ from almost every student, Zim's new appearance shocked all of those watching.
Okay. Any of the seekers watch Invader Zim?
I've been working out.
He's revealed to now be a fat blob, oozing liquids and intestines, looking like he could burst at any second. After finding out he's missing a pair of lungs, he hunts down the last healthy kid in the school. At this point in the episode, there's no more comedy present. They instead rely on fear.
Oh.
What the fuck is this? Nah, I'm done. Apple got us fucked up. They really think we stupid. They be playing right in our face, year in and year out. The same fucking phone. Every single year. Y'all, look at this shit. What the hell did they change? Why we keep getting the same phone for more money? You can't make this shit up, y'all. They really took the little things on the side, the little lights, from right here, and they put it on the right side. Bruh, it's hurting me, y'all. I'm really about to say this, and I never thought I would say this. I have been thinking it, but each year I'm like, iPhone is about to get better, and they always let me down. So now, I think I might have to go to fucking Galaxy, y'all. Is that the new wave? Is that the new trend? I don't want to pay $1,500 for the same fucking phone, bruh. I've been doing it for the last couple years. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not doing it no more. It's either I'm going to keep this 16 that I got, or I'm going over to Galaxy. I need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Am I tripping the way I feel? Or do y'all feel the same way as me? This is criminal. We can't keep letting them get away with this shit. Fuck the colors. I want a whole new design. Nigga, I want my iPhone to start making food. Something. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Are y'all buying this junk? Are you keeping your same iPhone? Or are you...
If you don't know...
I just keep, man. Just keep it till the wheels fall off, bro. I mean, if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to. But I just keep mine till the wheel fall off. If I don't see anything major improvements, I mean, there's no point of upgrading.
What's happening tonight, you need to watch this video right now. Make sure you share this video with someone, because if you miss this tonight, you won't see it for a very long time. So there is something called the Perseid meteor shower, which has been happening for a while, but it's going to peak on the 12th and the 13th of August. Now, I've seen a lot of people thinking that this is only going to be in America, but no, you will be able to see it from the UK and Europe, and this is how. Now, to see this, you do not need binoculars, a telescope, or anything. You will literally be able to see it very clearly. All you need to do is get somewhere out of a city, drive into the countryside or whatever, somewhere with little to no light pollution. You might still be able to get glimpses of it if you're in a city or a built-up area, but the best chance and the best view you're going to get is if you go somewhere where there is basically no light exposure. For the best chance to see it, keep your eyes out between 10 PM and midnight and get out just before it's gonna come so that your eyes can adjust to the dark. Look up towards the north, and if you're in an area where there's basically no light pollution, I can pretty much guarantee you will see it, especially if it's not cloudy. Now, this is an occurrence that happens normally once every year, so if you do miss it, you will see it again, but not for another year. So make sure you get outside and you're prepared. Share this video with a friend and hit that follow button, and I'll keep you updated.
Swimming pools, part 4. Would you go swimming in this red tiled bottom pool that's in Thailand? It's kind of cool, but it is also kind of like you're bathing in blood. I don't know about it. This is absolutely horrific, and I could never, and I mean never, go in this pool. Going out of the clown's mouth, turning around, seeing the clown, my soul would leave my body. Also, why does the hair look like SpaghettiOs? This looks like a pool that would be in a horror movie, and all the lights would go out all of a sudden, and now I'm scared myself. I found this image on Google, just like this, and yeah, this person gets it. This pool drain, it sure is plotting. It is plotting. Pool drains are not your friend. Remember that. This abandoned pool gives me the heebie-jeebies. What is that down there? That like steel thing that's like in the water right here? That is freaking me out. This image has banned all of my boozles. This looks like a lazy river, but then you go around the corner and these freaking wave pool drains. Why? That is terrifying. Imagine going around that circle and just like seeing that. I would be imagining the creepiest things behind there. In this pool where they put spent power rods, this freaks me out so bad that I don't know why. It's the forbidden waffle. I've seen Final Destination 4. You don't want to be there, buddy. I have more creepy pool photos coming tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, watch this video of a wave pool and let me know how you're feeling.
Okay, what's wave pools? What's that? Like white stuff beneath the water though.
This YouTuber is claiming that Roblox has banned all his accounts and even sent him a cease and desist letter for exposing predators on their platform. Schlepp has over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he primarily makes videos about exposing predators in the Roblox community. In fact, he says that his work has led to 6 arrests in real life. So with that in mind, I don't think he was expecting Roblox to react like this. In the legal letter, they said that he was engaging in unauthorized and harmful activities on the platform, that he exposed users to increased risk, and violated the game's policies. Now, Schlepp was outraged because Roblox has long been accused of not doing enough to stop predators using their platform, which is partly why vigilantes like Schlepp have started taking action of their own. In fact, Schlepp said that he himself was groomed on the platform when he was a child. So for the company to end up threatening him with legal action, it's got a lot of people real angry. They said, while Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols, and critically are exposing Roblox users to increased risk. Now, Schlepp has responded, insisting that he has reported through proper channels many times before without success, saying, "We send you everything." Now, the backlash to this has been pretty intense. A lot of the gaming community have sided with Schlepp, leading to a Roblox mass unfollowing movement trending, and even with users going after the CEO personally. However, some have sided with Roblox, saying you can't just go out and fight crime if you feel like the police aren't doing enough, and that this should be left to the people who are trained to do so. So, what do you guys think? Is it fair that Schlepp got banned, or should he be allowed back on the platform to continue his good work?
Why isn't anybody talking about the fact that there has been a mass kidnapping in Virginia? From August 1st till today, August 12th, 50 children have gone missing in Virginia. There are no news stories speaking about this. There are no higher officials speaking about this. This is 50 children. Look at this shit. We're not going to sit here and act like this is not happening. Look at all these children.
What's
Why
happening?
hasn't there been any news coverage? Look at all of these kids, man. Come on, y'all. For real. Look at this shit, man. This is sad right here. All of these children are missing.
Something going down.
No news coverage. Nobody saying anything. I'm gonna sit this right here, man. You're gonna sit right here. This don't make no sense, man. A mass kidnapping. Who's taking all these children? This can be any one of our children here.
We need answers.
Any one of us. As parents, somebody gotta step up, man. We gotta make this viral, man. Apparently something is going on in Virginia that we do not know about. But people need to see this. Higher officials need to see this. Higher officials need to hear about this. For real.
Just really weird scenarios and
Share the
things
video,
that
man.
happen revolving around this flood.
This tragedy happens on Friday. They were literally seeding clouds. The same Wednesday that the warning went out. The organization is called Rainmaker. Rainmaker does not have to provide environmental impact statements. The CEO, the owner, has admitted that he was seeding clouds on Wednesday, but he says, what I did couldn't have had enough effect to have caused these problems. On his official permit, he doesn't have to provide any environmental proof that what he's doing doesn't have the effect.
Dubai was doing the cloud seeding, and it was raining a little bit here and there, and all of a sudden, Dubai floods.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
shoot, I didn't think of
you know,
that.
but it's like the domino effect.
We blame it on climate change. We're like, we're literally changing it.
Yeah, we're the ones
legally
making
doing
it
right. Yeah.
But I really think accountability doesn't exist. If anything comes from us talking
Or
about it.
awareness.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
people need to be aware that permissions have been given that shouldn't have been given. And I think accountability needs to exist. So that's what I'm pushing for.
That's what caused the floods in Milwaukee.
For 15 minutes, my usual. And she's like, oh, no, babe, sorry, you gotta use something else. I don't recommend this. And I was like, sorry, excuse me. It's okay. I've been using this for 20 years. It's been fine to me. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be held responsible. So I'm not going to give you this lotion, but I'm going to give you this, and that should work even better. I was livid. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I just didn't want to go back and forth. I didn't even want to go back and forth. I just wanted to get it done, ready for my holiday, go home and pack. Boy, who knew that was going to be my biggest mistake here? I go on the sunbed. I'm like, oh, it's feeling a bit tingly. It's feeling a bit tangy. Like, I feel like I got heat rub all over my body. Plus, like, I hit a little pepper soup on top. Like, I was like, okay. You know that feeling when you got a relaxer? That's how it felt. But I was like, you know what? Let me power through. Whatever. Come out. Now I'm looking like I've been in the air fryer for about 40 years. Great stuff.
You guys remember the case of Lacey Fletcher, the woman who melted into her couch? Well, the people responsible for this have been sentenced. But let me remind you guys a little bit about 36-year-old Lacey. In 2022, she was found deceased on her family's couch, and apparently she sat there for 12 years without moving. So how exactly does that happen? Well, Lacey had severe autism and she was nonverbal, so she solely depended on her parents as her caregiver. But after years of neglect, she weighed less than 100 pounds. She was found covered in maggots at her own waist. And again, this is how the couch looked like when they found Lacey deceased. Lacey's cause of death was acute medical neglect, and ultimately her parents, Sheila and Clay Fletcher, were each sentenced this month to 40 years, but will only be serving 20 years in prison. Now, what's outrageous is that her parents, who went from this to this, testified that their daughter refused any medical attention. How can someone who couldn't communicate and completely relied on them refuse medical attention? A 36-year-old weighing less than 100 pounds. Let that sink in. This tragedy could have been prevented. There is no excuse.
Gross habits that are
case,
actually
man.
good for you. It's healthy for your stomach to burp after a meal because it means it's getting rid of excess air. When you bite your nails, you're actually consuming some of the bacteria under your fingernail. As a result, your immune system begins producing white blood cells, which fights against bacteria. Children who bite their nails or suck on their thumb are less likely to develop allergies, according to research. Before the last one, I just found this super addicting game that you'll never want to get rid of. You build your own kingdom and destroy others, and you can get it right here. Showering strips your skin of its essential oils, which is necessary to keep it hydrated and protected. So it's okay to go without showering for a day or two.
See, guys, tell me if y'all. I know y'all been seeing in the freaking in the social media spheres, bro, like there's been a lot of freaking celebrities talking about how they really don't be showing that at all, or like they only do it like I guess like once a week or something like that. Please tell me y'all don't follow that, bro. Don't be funky seekers.
Secret rooms hidden in famous locations. In the Statue of Liberty, there's a small room hidden inside the torch, but no one can enter inside because it was damaged by the Germans in 1916. And although it was repaired, they still don't allow anyone inside just as a safety precaution. Mount Rushmore is famous for the 4 sculpted faces of the previous American presidents. But behind them is a secret vault, and inside is the secret Krabby Patty formula. Just kidding, they keep historical documents back there, like the Declaration of Independence, and the biography of the sculpture, and the history of construction, but no one can access them. Inside Big Ben, there's a secret room by the bell tower. Although it's no longer in use, it used to be a prison for people who breached the code of conduct, and I have no idea what that means. But before I show you the coolest one, I just found this game that you'll never want to get rid of. Build your own fortress and attack other people, and you can get it right here. The Tower of London is one of the most famous fortresses in the world. Underneath it is a pub that you can only get invited to by one of the other members.
What is the dumbest reason you can think of somebody committing a crime? I'm about to one-up your thought right now. This man from Pennsylvania behind me named Benjamin Gowell killed his girlfriend because he didn't like her haircut. And just because he didn't like her haircut, he stabbed her to death. This happened on Sunday, November 3rd at 1 p.m. in East Hempfield, Pennsylvania. Police were called, the EMTs transported 2 people out, and 1 person was pronounced dead at the scene, so there was 3 people involved here. The victim was Carmen Martinez Silva. Her brother was also present there. I'm assuming he tried to fight the suspect, her boyfriend, off. Her brother would get stabbed in the skull, and Carmen would be pronounced dead at the scene. They found Benjamin Gowell's kitchen knife in his car. Apparently Carmen was a little fearful of Gowell, so she went over to her daughter's place. Her daughter gave her a haircut, and that just infuriated him for some reason. She was scared to go back, so she went to her brother's place. That's when she informed him she would like to end the relationship because he was being crazy. He knocked on the brother's door. The brother told him she is not here. He came back a few minutes later with a knife, stabbed him, broke through the house, and then stabbed her multiple times. This is all over a haircut. A haircut's the thing that apparently sent this guy over the edge. Now he has 3 counts of aggravated assault, a homicide count, an attempted homicide count, and a bunch of reckless endangering counts. Obviously, with his girlfriend dying now, he will probably be getting life in prison. That's a first-degree murder right there.
Over a damn haircut, really? That has to be one of the most dumbest crimes we've heard yet. People, man, be doing the most stupidest things for no reason. Life in prison for a haircut.
You have to hear this. An Uber driver claims that he actually picked up a group of ghosts. A man in Savannah, Georgia, a town that is well known for its paranormal activity, says that he used to work for a car service. One night, the man whose name is William was sent to pick up 3 ladies from Foley House, a historic bed and breakfast in the heart of the city. When he got there, he saw 3 women dressed up in what he described as Southern Belle outfits. He said that he picked them up and they got in the cab. They were going to Elizabeth on 37th Street. He said that they were all chatting and laughing in the back seat, and he was having a good time just cruising. Williams said that when he got to the destination, he turned around and said, "Ma'am, your fare is going to be such and such." But shockingly, there was nobody else in the cab. He called his boss to tell him the unexplainable story, but before he could begin, his boss grew angry, asking him if he had picked up the 3 ladies from the Foley House. He said that he did, but there was nobody in the cab. To this day, William believes that he picked up 3 ghosts instead of the paying customers that had requested the ride.
Islands on Earth that if you
Ghost
go to,
Uber?
you will die. Up first is North Sentinel Island. It is home to the Sentinelese tribe. Those who go never make it out alive. Next is Spider Island. It's home to most of the biggest and deadliest spiders in the world. And trust me, these can definitely kill you. Next is Monkey Island. You've probably never heard of this, but this is a remote island in Puerto Rico, and it's home to some of the deadliest monkeys in the world. All the monkeys on this island carry one of the most lethal infections in the world. Finally, and this is probably the worst one, Reunion Island. The surrounding waters are completely overrun by sharks, and the population keeps increasing rapidly. In total, there have been 50 shark attacks at this island.
And people still go there? Monkey Island, Spider Island, Shark Island. It's like, pick your poison. Which one do you want to go? Which one you want to go to? If you had to choose out of all those three, what would you pick, man? What you think you could survive on? I want to know.
Creepy relics of early 2000s Craigslist are completely unmatched. So back in the early 2000s, Craigslist was just this safe haven for some of the darkest fringes of society. It's the only way I can describe it. And just first off, we all know what a septic tank is, correct? They're very common, they have to be pumped, a lot of homes have them. So let's discuss the Alabama man who would pay you to go into yours. So his official ad says, some might judge me for this, but it's what I enjoy. I will pay you $150 an hour to bring my equipment in and gain access to your septic tank. I then have my associate close the tank. After I set up my tripod and camera up, believe it or not, it's a great place to reflect. And very unsurprisingly, not long after, a lot of videos leaked on LiveLeak of what was known as Septic Tank Man. And absolutely, the videos are shocking, but I think the more shocking part is how long ago this was and that nobody has ever identified who this man really was in Alabama.
The absolute scariest moments captured on camera. This eye-crunching footage recorded on the 12th of January 2021 shows a group of people in a boat when a massive iceberg collapses. When the iceberg collapsed, it made a terrifying wave that was over 30 feet high.
Damn.
The group of people in the boat try to get away as fast as they can as this monstrous wave follows them. Thankfully, they get away safely just in time. That wave could have easily wiped them out.
They could have. Yeah, they hit the jets on that boat, bro. Full drive. Man, pictures, like I said, they tell a story. You never know, man. At the right moment, it could be your last moment, bro.
Kids with Real Superpowers Part 1. This kid, whose name is this one, I don't know how to pronounce it, and he's called the Cat Boy because he can see in the dark. As you can see, he has very bright blue eyes, and when he was seen by the doctors and asked many questions, they ended up in the conclusion that he can see in the dark. But there are a lot of people who claim that this is fake. Do you believe it's true or not?
When they entered the apartment, what they found was disturbing. The first thing that they saw was a skinny 4-year-old Benji with 2 big black eyes. But not just that, Benji had bruises all over his body. He also had an injury in his ear, and because of that, he had a gauze just like sticking out of his ear. The officer said that he was very skinny and did not look like a normal 4-year-old. When they asked why did Benji have all these injuries, Miranda and Brandon said that he had behavioral issues and that he would do this to himself. They said that he had a habit of constantly poking his eyes and ears, and that's why it caused those injuries. Then officers decided to bring Benji alone into the bathroom, and they asked him again, what happened to you? Benji said the same thing his parents said and told the officers that he did it to himself and that he poked at his eyes and ears. But when you watch the video, it doesn't sound genuine, and it kind of sounds like Benji was rehearsed and told to say that. They had locks on their fridge, on their kitchen cabinets, and everywhere where there was food. They also noticed a lot of cameras set up in the apartment, especially in the kitchen. From their point of view, it just looked a little bit odd. Why are there so many locks and why is there cameras everywhere? Now, they retrieved all these cameras and began looking at all the footage, and I was not prepared to see what I saw. I think this was one of the saddest videos I've seen in a while. Watching how this boy would sneak out of his room in the middle of the night to look for food, it literally broke my heart. It was said that before Miranda moved into the home, Benji was able to just go in and out of the cabinets and fridge and get whatever he wanted. But then these locks were added and it became more difficult for Benji to get food.
These identical twin sisters were pure evil. In 1952, in the quiet town of Eldridge, there were 2 identical twin sisters, Emily and Evelyn. On the surface, they appeared to be normal, sweet girls, but beneath that, they hid a sinister nature. A new girl named Clara moved into town, quickly gaining popularity, which angered the twins. The attention shifted away from them, and they grew envious. One evening,
They invited Clara to a secret gathering in the woods, promising her a magical experience. The next morning, Clara was nowhere to be found. The town buzzed with rumors, but no one had proof of what happened. Weeks later, the twins' mother, Lorraine, overheard a disturbing conversation while passing by their room. She pressed her ear to the door and heard the chilling words, "We need another one." Clara wasn't enough. Horrified, Lorraine burst into the room, but it was empty. On the twins' beds, she found 2 dolls, identical to her daughter's, and a third doll with Clara's face. The twins were never seen again. Some say they still wander the forests, waiting to claim their next victim.
What do you guys think? Is that like a creepy folklore story? Because there'd be some realism to that. I think that's a folklore to me. I think that we heard a folklore story right there. But
These are the scariest serial killers from each state, part 1.
Up first is Nanny Doss from Alabama, also known as the Giggling Granny. She married 5 times and murdered 4 of her husbands, and the only one that survived was her first husband. She also poisoned 11 of her family members. Her first 2 victims were her children, who allegedly died from food poisoning. She got the nickname the Giggling Granny because she would always laugh at the crimes she committed. She killed 11 people and is definitely the scariest serial killer from Alabama.
You telling me it's her own daughters?
As of right now, this is definitely in my top 10, absolutely top 5. It is easily one of the most uniquely effective horror movies. This movie is about a woman named Ella who is a stop-motion animator working with her mother. And when the mother becomes hospitalized, it is up to Ella to finish her mother's vision, which Ella doesn't really want to do. And with the help of this random little girl from down the hallway, Ella tries to create a film like no other. However, when the world of reality and the world of stop motion start to really bleed together, it's going to make you wonder for the entire runtime of the movie, what is real? Now, in my opinion, I absolutely loved this movie. I don't know if the director is a genius or accidentally one, because everything in this movie just somehow works, and it works without answering all of your questions. It is a very dreamlike and ethereal type movie, so from the start, you're kind of questioning about everything, which some people are going to love and some people are really not going to like. And it goes without saying, the stop motion animation in this is perfectly creepy. If you've seen any of the previous works of the director, take the weirdness and tone of that and put it into a movie. Now, as far as like what type of scares to be prepared for in this movie, it's a good mix of a lot of different things. A handful of jump scares here and there, but what it's really effective is when the purpose of the movie is just to solely creep you out. But a warning to the squeamish, there are a couple of body horror scenes that can be kind of rough. They're extraordinarily well done. Just keep that in mind towards the end. Now, stop motion has a very limited run in theaters. Hopefully there's more showings in the future. But the good news is stop motion will be streaming on Shudder on May 31st. If you've seen this movie, what do you guys think?
What if I told you the mother behind me
you
was
seen
feeding her sons to cannibals? Behind me is Klara Maurova. She's from the Czech Republic and she had 2 sons, Jacob and Andrej. Her and her sister were part of this weird cult called the Grail movement. They believed by doing good deeds that they would go to heaven. Now here's where it gets dangerous. This cult also believed that they were free to commit any crimes they wanted to and nothing would affect them. And they were also cannibals. Things now got even stranger when her sister showed up with an adopted Norwegian child named Anika. She was 13 years old. Some people believe she was actually 30 and posing as a child. She was in a trafficking ring and had a lot of sympathy for her. Soon, Klara started to forget about her sons and started thinking about adopting Anika as her own. That's when this weird doctor started emailing and texting her out of nowhere. He claimed to be Anika's physician. She met up with him, he showed her her medical records, he gained her trust. The doctor said to Klara that you cannot adopt Anika because her sons are so mean to her. This was the doctor's plan all along as a cult leader. You guys remember that cult I was talking about at the beginning of the video? The doctor is like the head of this cult. He said to fix this, she needs to beat her boys as much as she can, for every little thing, and she fell for it. This was to cure their evil spirits. The doctor said these treatments are not working now. You need to take them to a cottage very far off from everyone else. She met up there were several people there, including her sister and Anika's brother. The boys were put in cages and tortured in every single way you could think possible. People there started to skin the boys and eat their flesh. They also made the boys eat their own flesh as well. And Anika, the 13-year-old, she kept saying the boys were still being mean to her to continue this abusive cycle. She was also part of that cult, and she was not 13. The whole cottage shock therapy ended and they went back home. The boys were treated the exact same back home though by their mother Clara. They were put in a cellar and locked up in there. Anika was living life in a room with a ton of toys and got everything she wanted. She was basically manipulating Clara this entire time. Now here's the way that she got caught, and it is crazy. Her neighbor was setting up a baby monitor for his newborn baby. Now back in like the early 2000s, if you had a baby monitor nearby, it could pick up that signal and you could see what's in there. It could jam a little bit. He managed to see these boys tied up in cages in her basement. Could you imagine the horrifying look he had on his face seeing this? And he did what every good person would do. He called the police immediately to get them some help. The police came, everybody was arrested. Clara, her sister, and Anika. And it turns out Anika was a 33-year-old woman. Her real name was Barbara Sklorova. This is a picture of Barbara Sklorova right here, aka Anika, and she was the basis for the movie Orphan. In case the story is sounding familiar, it's basically Orphan. The doctor was actually the father of that girl Anika, aka Barbara. And Clara's sister was in on this cult the entire time and manipulated her. They all got about 5 to 10 years in prison. This story definitely had the wildest turn of events I've read about.
5 to 10 years after all that? I never even knew Orphan was based off that. I've seen that picture before. That's how I saw the simulators. I'm like, there's always freaking truth behind those stories, man. In media, what we're seeing now. It's a shame.
This is how you would survive if you were in a zombie apocalypse. It's Saturday. You're in your room watching Netflix. But alone though, because you're single forever. All of a sudden, you get an emergency alert on your phone. A zombie apocalypse is real and has just begun. The news report states that global warming melted a glacier that had ancient viruses in it. Those viruses spread like wildfire, giving humans erratic and aggressive behavior. The virus spreads by saliva, so it causes its host to bite uninfected humans, similar to rabies. To survive, the virus feeds on your flesh, slowly deteriorating anybody it infects. 1 minute into the zombie apocalypse, you start to panic, still processing what's going on, what you just saw. You call and check on all your family members, but you don't go to their homes because anybody can be infected and you're afraid. 3 minutes in, you calm yourself down, lock your doors and windows, and think about running to the gun store for protection and the supermarket to get food and supply. But you decide not to, because remember, where there are people, there are zombies. 20 minutes in, you realize you can't do this alone. You won't survive without a good crew. After all, teamwork makes the dream work. You call your loyal friends, families, anyone you know that can join your crew. 46 minutes in, you start thinking strategically. You wear all your leather clothes so that if a zombie tries to bite you, it's harder for him to get through. You leave your car because eventually it'll run out. It'll need gas. So you grab your bike instead. Plus, a car makes too much noise anyway. 3 hours later, you and your crew are finally all together. You're safer this way. The first plan of action is to get out of the city. It's crowded with people who can potentially be zombies. So you need to go to a more secluded area. You and the crew decide to go north, where the temperature is much more colder and can potentially make the zombies move a little slower. 2 days in, on your way out of the city, zombies attack. One of your crew members gets bitten. They tell you to take them out before they turn into a monster. You don't want to, but sadly you honor your friend's wishes and continue on. 3 days in, you guys are now living in a cabin you found in the woods. You don't have much supplies, so you and 2 of your crew members volunteer to go get some. All you have is a knife for protection. You guys find a local store 30 minutes away and grab everything you need. All of a sudden, zombies come running in. One jumps on your back before you can even react and tries biting you, but the leather jacket you have on protects you. Thank God he couldn't get through. You use the knife you have and take him out. You and your crew hop on the bikes to get away, but sadly one of your members get devoured. 5 days in, you can't stay in this cabin hideout anymore. It's surrounded by zombies. More and more zombies are starting to appear in the area. You and the crew decide that it's actually time to pack up and head out. You need better protection, so y'all find a local abandoned building. It's made of bricks, so this should be a little more safer. You block off all the entrances you can find. You need to recharge, so you all rest while switching shifts, being the lookout. 10 days in. It's only been 10 days, but it feels like forever. You manage to get more supplies more wisely this time. These supplies will keep you alive for days. You get non-perishables, like rice, canned food, beans,
Stack
and
up.
oatmeal. 1 month in. The area is swarming with zombies. You can't stay in this building any longer. You and the crew head to the docks to find a boat to travel in. It'll be safer this way because zombies can't swim. Finally, you guys find one and can sail to a new location. You guys jump off the boat to go find food. You have hunting and fishing gear. While hunting, all of a sudden you hear a loud roar. It's a bear. Not only a bear though, it's a zombie bear. The virus is now spreading to animals. You and the crew make a run for it, back to the boat. 4 months in, you got no more food and the crew is starving. It's only 3 of you left and you're stuck on the boat. The engine will no longer start. It's out of gas. Zombie animals and people are surrounding the area. You pray, and you guys listen to the radio to figure out if there's any good news or any updates. Everything just seems hopeless. 4 months and 8 days in. This is it. You've lost hope. You and your friends are done for. There's only 3 of you. But you want to live. You don't want to die, but you're starving. You have no other choice but to eat your friends.
Oh, man.
1 year in. You finally stay in a fort you built, but zombies are surrounding it. Luckily, you were smart enough to build traps all around. You sneak through an underground tunnel which leads to the backyard where you can escape. Just in time before they got in your fort. 1.5 years in. You're on the radio and you discover there's a colony that survived. They're looking for other survivors. You send an SOS immediately. It won't be long before you are noticed and possibly eaten by zombies. You are on your last leg. No food, no water, no shelter. You barely have strength to walk. You start to lose all hope. All of this was for nothing. But then you hear a helicopter up above. It's the survival colony you sent the SOS to. They rescue you and you survive. But is this finally the end or just the beginning?
Could you guys have survived all that, man? Zombie apocalypse. There's no guy for that, man. Whew. I think I will go to the freaking gun store and just get protection. Just move on from there. Hey, that's my thoughts. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I really appreciate the support, man. Like I said, make sure you guys like this video. Comment down below. Follow me on my social medias. Guys, I'm catching the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.